I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text DIG to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful Fed incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text DIG to 42424. That's DIG to 42424. Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Negotiators are trying to find a solution to keep 2 Delaware County hospitals from closing their doors for good. A single small-engine plane carrying 5 people crashes in Lancaster County. Philadelphia City Council members hear ideas about how to stop illegal dumping.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, it's Nick Cale here to introduce to you the all-new 2025 ADX, Piazza Acura's latest addition to its precision crafted model lineup. A premium compact SUV with breakthrough design, performance, and innovation. The Acura ADX features a turbocharged engine, available all-wheel drive, and cutting-edge technology engineered for those who demand more. More power, more style, more luxury. Coming soon to Piazza Acura in Ardmore, Reading, and Westchester. Sign up today at piazzaacura.com to get the latest updates on the first ever ADX.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause. Brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Celebrate twice as much with NordVPN's birthday deal. Get 72% off and a coupon for up to 1 year free. Visit NordVPN and discover the benefits. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. Encrypt your online traffic. Reduce the risk of phishing, scams, and malware with NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro. Get the special birthday deal at nordvpn.com. Additional terms apply. NordVPN.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
As a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, joining IAVA.org really helps in the transition home. It's a network of OIF and OEF vets like me who've got your back here, just like we did over there. That means when you need help navigating the GI Bill, we've got your back. And when you're dealing with the transition home, we've got your back. Or when you just want someone to share stories with, we've got your back. Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is there for you. Join our community at IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Brought to you by IAVA and the Ad Council.
I'm a radio guy. Always have been. I grew up with radio and still love it today. I love talk, music, and great personalities. I used to have satellite, and I've tried internet stations, but you know what? Local radio is still my favorite. Then I found HD radio. Now I get all the stations I've always listened to, plus a lot more I never knew were there. The coolest part? I bought an HD radio for just $50, and I pay no monthly subscription fees. So if you like radio, you'll love HD radio.
More stations, no monthly fees. HD radio, a good deal more.
The following message is about Medicaid and CHIP, free or low-cost health coverage for kids and teens. Enrollment is open year-round.
Hey, voice lady, give me the mic.
Okay.
Hey, DJ, let's switch up the music. That's better. So listen up, moms and dads out there. There are these programs called Medicaid and CHIP. They offer free or low-cost health coverage for kids. Things like doctor and dentist visits, prescriptions, and shots are covered. All the stuff that keeps kids like me healthy and in charge.
So, as you can tell, a covered kid is a confident kid. And it means confident parents, too. To learn more about affordable health coverage for your family, visit healthcare.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. That's 1-877-543-7669.
Yep, you could do something big for your family today because enrollment is open year-round.
This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And Sophia.
WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Matt Rooney on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
How is it colder in here than it is outside? You weigh about 200 less pounds than I do, Daniel. How are you not freezing in there?
It's about 75 in here.
Is it really warmer in the producer's booth?
Yes.
You give off that much heat, huh? Mm-hmm. It's your animal magnetism.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that explains it. I must be low T. I'm in danger of becoming a Democrat. Oh, well.
This means you're a woman.
That was the implication of the joke, Daniel. I was being self-deprecating. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Matt Rooney Show. Live from the banks of the surprisingly chilly Schuylkill River this evening. My car thermostat says 60 degrees. It lies, as Joe Wilson once said to Barack Obama during his State of the Union. It ain't 60 degrees outside. Or maybe it is and it's just the wind. I don't know. But I have my quarter zip on this evening because it is chilly. Maybe I'm just getting old and my blood is getting thin. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I would rather be too cold than too warm because you can always put on more clothes, but you can only take off so much before you get arrested. Those are words to live by.
Wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong?
Wrong.
Explain why I'm wrong for the first of, I'm sure, 30,000 times tonight, producer.
I'd rather be too warm than too cold. Because when I'm too cold, I just keep adding layers, and I just like walk around like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and I really don't want to do that. So I'd rather just keep taking off layers and show my beach bod. You know what I mean?
Your beach bod?
Yeah, and if a cop got to come be like, yo, put some clothes on, I'd be like, screw you, I'm in my birthday suit.
You beach bod.
Yeah, my beach bod.
Yeah, you're built like Patrick from SpongeBob.
What's the issue?
Scaly little starfish man. Scaly little starfish man. Now I obviously don't agree with that at all. Too hot is not a good thing, but you do you, bud. Just like we encourage everyone that listens to the Matt Rooney Show.
Maybe you should just try being younger.
Just try being younger?
Yeah, try being younger.
Yeah, how does that work? You got a DeLorean parked out back that I can hop into?
Look, I mean, if people can change their gender, then you can change your age. Boom, roasted.
I guess that's true.
Smoked them.
I guess that's how it works.
Yep.
Yeah, someone was going at me about that tonight over on X. Very, very long story short, those of you that listen and watch this program all the time know that I'm a little plugged in with New Jersey politics, and I'm starting to do some interviews of the gubernatorial candidates. I already was a panelist for one of the GOP gubernatorial debates, which ended up being a Rocky V style back alley brawl. So that was fun. And one of the Democrat candidates says that he wants to do an interview with me, Steve Fulop, the mayor of Jersey City up north. So I'm fine with it, but some of his supporters online were not happy. They're not happy that I said that trans is not a thing. I said it because it's true. It's not a thing. Humans aren't frogs. You can't change your gender. But, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment. So I went back at least one of these people and I said, well, can you explain to me what a woman is? I'll accept a simple definition. And you can cheat, right? Because this isn't a classroom where I'm supervising a test. You can use the Google, the interwebs, And you look it up. And I keep getting the same answer from everyone. Well, you're one if you want to be. I wasn't aware that science worked that way, but Democrats are stubbornly holding on to that belief at the beginning of yet another election cycle. Will it work well for them? I highly doubt it. Can I give you one example here? Well, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you how you can participate with tonight's show, and then I'll give you an example that's going to give you a splitting migraine. Of course, you can get involved the old-fashioned way. You can listen via the radio and then call in, 855-839-1210. But Dan will not only not let you on, but if you do somehow magically get through, he'll hang up on you like he did on one of our callers last week, who subsequently emailed me, Daniel.
Did he?
And said that he'd like to continue the conversation, but you were extremely rude to him and hung up on him. So now we have a public relations disaster because of your poor behavior.
Fire me.
Right now on air?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well,
no,
if I can figure out how to run the board.
I want to do something to where we have an open Zoom link or an open Zoom code.
Right. And I have no idea what that means, but you...
So instead of calling in, they can
Right.
join the Zoom code, and it puts them into like a queue. And then our phone calls essentially come through Zoom. I'm trying to think of a way to do that instead of normal phone calls.
But how do I then communicate with the person who's calling in through Zoom? Are they going to pop up on the screen?
The same way that you would communicate through the phone. You would just hear them.
But what is the
Zoom aspect is for the stream, but you'd still hear them normally as you would.
But why is that better? And that's not a rhetorical question. I don't know. Why is
Quality's
that better?
Overall, the quality's better. And so people don't have to like literally hold a phone up to themselves, like
Okay.
to their ear. And
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm open to it.
Caller from last week, I apologize, but he's more than welcome to call in again. You want to continue the conversation? That's fine.
Did you just apologize for something?
I did because my mom even called me. And
Your
she's
mom
like-
called you
Yeah,
out?
she's like, "Why'd you hang up on that guy?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." No, I do apologize. It was a bad day, bad week. So, yeah. So I apologize for that.
I wasn't even trying to call you out. I was just having fun with it. But
All good. No, you can call in again,
All right,
continue the conversation, or if he wants to chime in on a new conversation, be my guest. So, yeah.
Personal growth, and we're not even 11 minutes into the show here.
Yeah.
So check that out. So if you're out there and you want to call in, you can give it another try. The preferred way to participate on the show, regardless of what we do in the future, is over on YouTube. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT, where you can confirm that I am indeed as handsome as I sound. And you can also see producer Daniel via the producer cam. We got our cute little new logo that Dan created, which is just adorbs, as the kids might say. And you can mix it up over in the chat, which is always salty, and we appreciate everyone that's there every week. Some of the regs are kicking around right now. Gmail, Manglemush, Suze, Road Warrior. Actually, Road Warrior isn't here every week, so it's a special week when Road Warrior's here. He says God works in mysterious ways. I don't even want to read further up in the thread because I don't know what we're talking about. Sometimes it's dangerous when you just jump in the middle of it. It's like a feeding frenzy in a shark tank. So you can check us out over on YouTube as well. You can also tweet at me or post at me or whatever we're calling it these days over at X. My handle is Matt Rooney NJ. Now, back to what I was talking about a minute ago. And there's a point to this, as there always is. Me mixing it up online with some of Mayor Fulop's followers that are a little upset about my position on trans, which is that it isn't real because it happens to be the truth. Have you seen online, if you're an ex-aficionado, JoJo from Jers?
Yes.
Yeah, she's one of the Democrat influencers that was brought to the Biden White House. She's from Jersey. That's all I know about her. I don't know anything else about her other than that she's allegedly from New Jersey. Well, she appeared with Piers Morgan on Piers Morgan's program, who, aside from the fact that one time he and I went back and forth online about the Second Amendment, sometimes I agree with him. Sometimes he makes a relevant point. Certainly, he often makes more sense than the leftists on this side of the pond. And he asked her what I thought was, again, a fairly straightforward question. What is a woman? Well, listen to how JoJo handled it.
If it's cut 3, we don't have it. You didn't link it.
What do you mean I didn't link it?
Didn't link it.
I absolutely linked it.
No, you didn't.
You're right, Daniel. That one got cut off. All right, well, I'll read it to you. You don't really lose much, and actually from not hearing her voice, I probably saved you half a bottle of Advil. Piers says, what is a woman? And she says, well, if you feel like you're a woman, you're a woman. I'm not threatened if you feel like that. And then Piers says, what if I feel... Actually, I should have Daniel read this because he does a better English accent than I do. He said, what if I feel like a woman right now?
What if I feel like a woman right now?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, that was a little more Stones, though. More like Mick Jagger. But that's fine. That's fine. It's better than Piers sounds. If you feel like it, sure. I'm sorry. What's a man? I'm a woman. So if I feel like I'm a woman right now, I am a woman. It is not my prerogative to tell you what you can't.
Britney Spears?
Well, Britney is a...
my prerogative.
No, well, that's true. Britney Spears.
It's Britney Spears.
Every time I think of poor Britney, I just imagine her dancing around with knives.
In her undergarments / bikini.
Yeah, and we're lucky if she's wearing any, right?
Yeah.
Depending upon the video.
Yeah.
So, I'm having this experience with these lefties on X, and I'm watching JoJo from Jers get spanked by Piers. And then I catch a little bit of Morning Joe by complete accident.
What a show.
Yeah, I mean, it's you probably lose less brain cells snorting heroin than you do watching Morning Joe.
Since JoJo from Jers is from Jers, have you ever seen her / met her / been in her vicinity / I don't have anything else.
No.
No, okay. Do you know what part of Jers she's from?
No, and I don't know any Democrats in New Jersey that know her or have met her. I wonder whether or not she even exists sometimes, or if she's a creation of artificial intelligence.
She could be like that, idea. Or she could be like the old account. I don't know what the account was, but like there's a huge thing where it was like a fake account, but it was a conservative, I guess, guy or group that was pretending to be a girl, like a liberal girl. And people were like outraged by it, but then it came out it was a fake account. I forget the account name, but some S like that probably.
Nothing is capable of surprising me.
Yeah.
In this current environment we're living in.
Yeah.
And so I'm listening to Morning Joe and Joe Scarborough, who God knows what happened to that guy. He was a member of Newt Gingrich's class of 1994. How far some have fallen. Is lamenting. The Democrats don't seem to be able to unite and coalesce around a common spokesperson. Well, I don't know what TV show Joe or any of these other lefties that are on the Morning Joe program have been watching over the course of the past few years. But what can you really come to expect from the Democrat Party in the current state it's in? It is a dumpster fire. Multiple dumpsters caked on top of other dumpsters, drenched in jet fuel, blazing so bright you could see it from space. That's how bad things currently are in the Democrat Party. I mean, this is the party that is actively cheering against a billionaire who pro bono, without getting paid, is trying to cut junk out of the federal government that everyone should be offended by. They won't stand and clap for a kid with cancer. If there's one thing we used to be all able to agree on, it's that we like kids with cancer, right? We feel bad for them. We don't want children to ever have to suffer.
But Elizabeth Warren
needlessly
/ Pocahontas, whatever you want to call her, did clap for Ukraine.
She did clap for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. She was able to summon enough human feeling
and
for that.
And a little sneak peek coming up on a Twig Talk. I have
sounds like a candy.
I have a I guess video clip of someone from Fox News going around asking why they didn't clap for anything. So there's that.
I have a sneaking suspicion we're not going to get coherent answers.
It's not. It's just silent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right.
It's just silent.
Yeah. So Joe was wondering why the Democrats can't coalesce around everyone. Well, what is there to coalesce around? I can't tell you what this party stands for. I can't tell you what they believe. Recently, there was a little bit of a scandal when Cory Booker and a number of other senators were caught reading not the same talking points, but the same exact script in separate videos.
Oh, is this the one
splashed all across the internet?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They all uploaded literally the same exact thing, same set, same literally everything.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, the Democrat Party is not a party anymore. It's a parody of itself. And this Democrat Party is seriously in danger of becoming extinct, and they have no one to blame but themselves for putting themselves in this position. And I'm all here for it because I don't want them to succeed, because I care about my country. But one wonders whether or not there are any Democrats left that appreciate the danger. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure there's a few James Carvilles that are furious about what is unfolding at the national level and here at the state level in New Jersey and in Pennsylvania. But they're powerless to do anything about it because the disease, the parasite that is rotted out what was once a legitimate party when it was led by men like JFK and Harry Truman, no longer exists. It's been hollowed out. We're going to delve into this topic more tonight on the Matt Rooney Show. We will also be joined by our friend Vicki Flynn, who's got a big update on women's sports in New Jersey and the 2025 gubernatorial race, and a whole heck of a lot more tonight on 1210 WPHT. Remember, 855-839-1210. That's the number. Back in a second.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Edelman's Coins, Philadelphia's local bullion dealer. Edelman'sCoins.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-431-2715. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-431-2715. 800-431-2715. 800-431-2715.
Hey, Westchester. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
I'm with you, Suze. Suze over on the YouTube page says, looks like a good weather week ahead. Big woot. Plus the extra hour of light in the evening. I love springing ahead. I've got an extra bounce in my step this evening. Usually my keister is dragging a little bit by the time I get to Sunday night. It is only for love of this audience and zeal for the cause that I'm able to put on 3 of the best hours in radio anywhere. But having that sunlight when you're driving into the city to do this show, it makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it, Dan? I even saw you crack a smirk tonight. It was fleeting, but it was there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
We know I never do that.
Never happens. Never happens. So youtube.com/@1210WPHD. Woo woo to you, Kimmy. Glad to have everybody with us this evening. Sue says Matt looks so dark and mysterious. My lighting is terrible.
I just changed it.
Although I don't get any better looking with more light, as regular listeners and viewers of this program are well aware. I just got a direct message over on X, by the way, from someone named Marcos. And they said, Matt, well, besides Trump, what do you think Republicans are doing right and Democrats are doing so poorly? Because in the first segment of tonight's program, we pointed out the Democrats appear to be lost in the woods, spinning. They're in a tailspin, heading towards the ground in danger of crashing. Well, here's one thing for you. We could spend more than 3 hours talking about this subject. We won't. Dan won't let me. We've got other things we got to get to. But consider the following. What did Donald Trump, because this is bigger than even the Trumpster, what did he do so successfully over the course of the past several years, going back to 2015 when he rode down that golden escalator? He didn't just craft an effective argument to take on the Democrats, the other side of the aisle. Donald Trump took on his own party, the Republican Party. He challenged it, and he changed it, ultimately. The Republican Party today is significantly different than not just your grandpa's or your father's Republican Party. It doesn't resemble the GOP of 2014 or 2012. That was the country club Republican Party, which, let's just take one example.
Mitt Romney.
Right. It was Mitt Romney. Think Mitt Romney, a guy who believes in Wilsonian overseas intervention, does not challenge the military-industrial complex. Those are 2 massive changes in the present iteration of the Republican Party as it's been reconstituted by Donald Trump. And that all happened because Donald Trump took on the establishment. Give me a Democrat today. I challenge you to do this.
Rashida Tlaib.
I'm not talking about ones that, Dan, you find arousing. I'm talking about... I know you've got a Rashida fetish, okay? But that's not now. We've talked about this. We got to at least get to 9 p.m. in the show before you start getting R-rated.
I actually am aroused by him.
I know you are.
It's like this.
But she's a great example. The bartender from New York. They may talk, right, with populist overtones. Angry, we hate billionaires, we want to do this, we want to do that. Everything that even the fringes of the Democrats on Capitol Hill argue for is now centralized Democrat orthodoxy. They're not challenging anything. No Democrat is attempting to overturn the apple cart, tweak that party's ideology, let alone revolutionize it. They don't want to change anything about what Democrats have been running on for the past several years. There isn't a Democrat alive that I'm aware of that's doing that right now, at least one with any semblance of a platform. So back to Joe Scarborough's lament that they can't find a Democrat who is effectively messaging right now. I don't want to help them out, but I'll offer this. Democrats may finally find their effective messenger when they can find someone that's willing to challenge the Democrat Party, like Donald Trump took on the Republican Party. Until they find that person, male, female, hopelessly gender confused, they're going to continue to struggle in the red states, in the purple states, and in states like my own, New Jersey, which I'm calling, you can call it a swing state, I'm calling it an emerging purple state, right? Just like we have emerging economies that are transitioning from the third to the second world or whatever, however you want to conceptualize it. New Jersey's an emerging purple state. Democrats are going to increasingly find themselves in trouble there because there are folks, I know them, you know them, they're our friends, they're our family, who are not rock-ribbed, limited government, Milton Friedman reading, William F. Buckley loyal conservatives.
You leave William F. Buckley out of here.
I know you've got that William F. Buckley tattoo in a place we're not going to talk about, but you're gonna have to check your feelings here for a minute, bud, because this is an important point. The people that Donald Trump is winning over, and some of you need to be reminded of this, they're not coming over because they're conservatives. They're coming over because Donald Trump has found a way, without compromising core Republican principles, to appeal to new coalition members. Maha is a great example, right? RFK voters, great example. He's bringing them in. Libertarians, and even some Bernie bros, who maybe don't agree with Republicans on many economic issues, but they are disgusted by the corruption in Washington, D.C., and they do want to see the status quo changed. Democrats don't have anyone like that. So in New Jersey, Republicans find themselves suddenly, shockingly, to some. I'm not shocked by it, but I know many of you are, with a golden opportunity to continue to grow that big tent. So these are very exciting times if you want to see this country reborn. These are very depressing times if you're a Democrat and instead of reforming your party, taking on your party, challenging its orthodoxy, challenging its leadership, you want to ride off the cliff waving your white flag, dying on the hill of 362 genders. Best of luck to you. It's just not where the center of this country is anymore. I don't think it ever was there. But all that U.S. aid cash and our culture artificially made it appear like that's where the country was. That's why corporate America is undergoing such a dramatic, sudden correction, because they're saying to themselves, oh, crap, this country is not as liberal as we had deluded everyone and ourselves into thinking that it was. I'd never lie to you, folks. It's the truth. And as I said, I have mixed emotions because I don't really know if I necessarily want Democrats to figure it out. One group, back to JoJo from Jers, Dan's bud.
The white people.
Well, I was going to say white educated Americans.
Close enough.
Right? White educated Americans. They're in danger of being on an island by themselves pretty soon. And it's because they are messaging to themselves exclusively. Their message no longer appeals to anyone beyond themselves. And I'll give you a great example. I hate reality television. I've talked about this many times on this show. It's really not any different from Romans going to Colosseums and watching people chop each other's arms off for entertainment and throwing Christians to the lions, except usually on reality TV, people don't die.
Some reality TV is good.
What reality TV show do you like? Which one?
I used to be really big into Big Brother. I thought that was a good show.
You liked Big Brother?
I did.
It was novel at the time. I'm not saying it was a good show, but it was original.
I mean, seasons, I watched from 16 to 20, so only 4 seasons. But after that, I kind of fell off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched the Kardashians. It turns me on to know that I'm poor. So I watch that show, and I'm just like, wow. I guess my lifestyle isn't going to cut it for this, so that's fun.
Yeah, that Brazilian butt lift you've been trying to save up for just does not happen.
Botox on my lips, the Brazilian butt lift, it's just not.
It's not in the cards.
Never going to be as pretty as them. So,
Nope.
I don't know, something about that just makes me feel good inside. And then, those are about the only 2 reality shows that I've watched or have seen. I don't really watch TV, so.
Yeah. Oh, but can I give you a quick aside?
No.
You said before, are you going to ask me to play 3? Because I didn't give you a link for 3, and that's true. I didn't give you a link for 3. I gave you a link for 4 with JoJo.
Did you?
I did. Which is it's both our faults because
you did.
Because I should have said no, it's 4, not 3.
You did.
Math is hard.
Yeah.
But we do have 4.
You also didn't label it JoJo from Jers. You said Dem ex-influencer.
Yeah.
I also don't name it depending on what it is. I name them how I know them.
In future, should I send them to you and then you will label them?
Yeah.
Would that be a better system?
Sure.
Okay. We're always endeavoring to try to make the show better.
We can play it if you want.
Do you want to?
I mean, we have it.
I mean, it's still relevant to our discussion.
Sure.
Because we're talking about obnoxious liberal women.
Sure.
So why not?
All right.
Jojo, I'm going to ask you a question, a simple question.
What are you talking
Give
about?
me a simple answer, Jojo. What is a woman, Jojo?
Yes. Well, a woman is whatever. If you feel like you're a woman, then you're a woman. I know I'm a woman. I identify as a woman.
So if I feel
know
like
what
a
that
woman
means
right
to
now,
me.
I'm a woman?
I'm not threatened.
Hang on.
If you feel like you're a woman, it's your identity, sure.
So hang on, just to be clear.
I'm sorry. What's a man? Piers, what's your definition of a man?
Just to
I'm a
be
woman.
clear.
What's your definition of a man?
So just to be clear, if I feel like a woman right now, I am a woman. Is that your position?
And if you feel like you are a woman, Piers, and you want to walk around identifying as a woman, it is not my prerogative to tell you that you
Am
cannot.
I a woman?
I identify as a woman. What is a man, Piers? What is a man?
Oh, a man is
Donald
an adult
Trump a man?
human.
Can I?
That's it.
Pierce, can I jump into that question?
Adult human male.
An adult human male.
Adult human male is a man.
An adult human male.
Can I
yes.
finally get
And a woman
like
is an
55
adult
pounds of cake
human
make up the man,
female.
right?
Adult
Can I finally
human
get to say
female.
You're asking what a woman is. I am a woman. I identify as a woman.
Okay, but just to be clear, hang on, Matt. I'm going to bring Matt in. I just want to just
Matt,
sort of
you
double
really
down
need
on
to
this.
stay out of this one, friend.
I just want to be clear,
You don't want to
Jojo.
go here.
Jojo said if you feel like a woman, you're a woman. So, Jojo, final time. If I now say I feel like a woman.
All right, I'm getting tired of it. There's no point being made. Everyone's just talking all over each other.
Well, the point being made is that liberal women are pathetic.
You don't get into this.
How do you defend people, right, that don't want to defend themselves? Right? And I'm not talking about all women here. I mean, there are plenty of perfectly intelligent American women that voted for Donald Trump this year.
You also know.
Because they don't believe that they're the sum of their ovaries, and they know what a woman is. And they're business owners, their parents, their spouses and partners, they're leaders in their community, and they're tired of being degraded by this garbage.
I think it's also fun to know that when the white liberals are triggered, they start talking real fast and they start talking over people.
Yeah.
So like when they're talking over people and they're talking real fast and they just start throwing insults, that means you got to them. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are pleasant to talk to, but you got them when they start talking over you and all that kind of stuff.
No, that's right. They start talking over you, and then they start erecting artificial barriers to entry to the conversation.
And then they just go off on something else. They're like, "Whoa,
Right.
what do you think about this?" Yeah.
But you pointed out, like Matt Schlapp was trying to jump in and correct her.
Yeah.
You better not say anything about this one.
Matt
Well,
Schlapp.
because that person has been deemed by her unable to weigh in on that particular topic. Why? He's no less intelligent than she is.
Clearly he is. Anyway, back to your original thought.
Well,
before
it
I
dovetails.
rudely interrupt you.
It does. No. That's what you do when you don't like what I'm saying, Dan.
Yep.
You're just you identify as a liberal woman as a producer.
I'm going to talk all over you, and I'm going to talk real fast.
Yep. That's how you do it. But these reality TV shows are rapidly hollowing out our culture because, if for no other reason, forget all the other obvious stuff we're constantly talking about when we critique reality television. It's reinforcing for liberal women that their worldview is dominant when it's not. The election just proved that. It is a minority worldview. Thank God. But I'm going to give you another example. Have you ever seen this show, Love is Blind?
Yes.
I mean, so it's in the title, right? They get together and they live in these pods, men and women, and they communicate to each other in these pods, but they're unable to see each other. And then I guess they can decide whether they want to propose or not. And then once they see each other, it's this big drama as to whether or not it holds, right? That they fall in love with each other for who they really are, or is it really about appearances? Yes, this is not at all degrading for the people participating in this exercise, but there are people who love this and think it's fun. They think it's good entertainment. But listen to this one particularly whiny liberal gal who, I'll give you the very basic context here. She decided to marry this guy who I think has less testosterone than Hillary Clinton, but then decides at the altar that she is not going to marry him. So she's in the car afterwards with her lesbian sister and her mother discussing her decision to not marry him. And lo and behold, this is what she said.
Like, I feel like I know him. Like, really. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, I asked him about, like, Black Lives Matter, and I'm no expert. But, like, when I asked him about it, he was like, I guess I never really thought too much about it. that affected me, especially in our own city. Like, how could it not? How did it not make you think about something? I asked him to, like, what his church's views are, and he said he didn't know. And so then I watched a sermon online.
From his church?
About, sexual identity.
Okay.
And it was traditional. I told that to Ben. And he doesn't really have much to say about it, you know? I want him to think about that stuff.
Sometimes I did wonder if it was surface, fun, carefree love that we had. Equality, religion, the vaccine.
The vaccine.
I don't understand why all that stuff matters.
Dude dodged a bullet, man. He dodged a bullet.
Like, you can have conversations about it. Like, yes, Belle and I have had conversations about it. But we've never gotten to, like, hey, we're going to just not get married or we're going to break up because you didn't think about this. Like, we've had, like, I don't understand why that's such a big thing. I guess he just really hasn't thought about Black Lives Matter as much. I feel like you should have discussed that before getting married. And also, if you find someone to marry on a TV show, you probably shouldn't be,
right.
They're probably not meant to be.
You have this expansive ideology litmus test, right? Ideological litmus test for who is appropriate to marry, and then you go on a show where you don't even meet the person until you say, yeah, sure, let's get hitched. Oh, what a world. Thank God for the Matt Rooney Show. Remember, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Quick break to play some ads, make some money. We are capitalists around here, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Walter Sterling.
Everybody had a CB radio. I mean, everybody. You got on the highway, pick a channel, and it was busy. Was there any meaningful conversation going on? No. The only actual service it provided was letting me know where speed traps were, and this bizarre sense of connectiveness to anonymous people going through the same thing.
Sterling. Every damn night. Sunday through Friday nights at 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Need new doors and windows, but not high-pressure sales tactics?
If so, give Emmons a call today. At Emmons, we provide top-notch installation service with a focus on quality and customer satisfaction with brands like Anderson and Provia Windows and Doors.
And you can upgrade your home today with our energy-efficient options, which help save you money.
Call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
It's a weekend clash of the NL's best at Citizens Bank Park when the Dodgers visit Philly on Friday, April 4th at 6:45, Saturday, April 5th at 4:05, and Sunday, April 6th at 1:35. Secure your seats at Phillies.com. Baseball is a team sport, and it's always more fun with friends. Phillies group tickets are on sale now. Gather your group of 25 or more and visit Phillies.com/groups for more info and to purchase tickets today.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7. And we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
We got a little bit of breaking news here, Daniel. I don't know if we have breaking news music or anything like that. We should probably develop some.
I can, yeah.
That would be like a professional show thing to do.
Sure. We're not professional. We're just a Sunday night show.
Yeah, no, we're just a Sunday night show. And actually, I have something to say about that as well. Us just being a Sunday night show. Put a pin in that for a second. The breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, is that...
Breaking news.
That was good.
So you want it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Breaking news. Justin Trudeau is finally out in Canada. He is no longer the Prime Minister of the True North, strong and free. The Liberal Party has selected Mark Carney, who is an ex-central banker up there in our neighbor to the north, to replace Trudeau as the next Prime Minister of Canada. So Carney, who is about as far left as Trudeau, is going to now probably call an election, and he'll face off against Pierre, the Conservative challenger. It's such a great anthem. It's so wasted on the current crop up there.
Let's all sing it now.
True patriot love
in
all
of us command. Come on now, with glowing hearts we see thee rise.
True North, strong and free.
Far and wide. I don't know what I'm
We
just
have
reading
reciprocal tariffs for thee. Starting April 2nd.
Yeah.
Keep our land glorious and free.
That was good.
That's enough.
That was good. You really hit those high notes.
Thank you. I learned from Katy Perry.
Yeah. Your transition you've been undergoing has its advantages.
Yep.
It's not a bad song though. It really isn't. All the worst regimes have really good national anthems. Like the old Soviet anthem, really a great song. Evil Empire.
Taking that out of context.
But no, it's true. Look, the Imperial March from Star Wars, awesome.
What was the Soviet what?
Soviet anthem was great, yeah. It's really appropriate for an enemy.
For what year?
Your enemy has to have a really good
What year?
Anthem. Which year?
During like World War II?
Well, it's been pretty consistent from the beginning. Well, no, I think the version of the Soviet anthem that we all know,
is it this one?
like what you heard in Rocky, came about in the 50s.
Is this it?
Yeah.
So powerful. Very moving.
Yeah.
It's touch. I'm crying in here.
It's good, right?
Crying. Yeah.
It's the only good thing that ever came out of communism. Long. You can see Trudeau singing it with his real father down in Cuba.
Rest in peace, Uncle Fidel.
Built with the people's mighty hand.
Rest in peace, Uncle Fidel.
Pour one out for my homie.
Yep.
My bearded homie.
Smoking
formerly
ice Cuban.
Formerly of Havana.
Smoking ice Cuban.
I'd imagine they're going to play that when Trudeau leaves whatever the PM's residence is up there in Canada. Because that's where his heart truly lies. Across the sea in a redder land. So, Trudeau is out. How this ultimately affects our ongoing negotiations with Canada as reciprocal tariffs are about to take effect here in just a matter of weeks. Stay tuned. But that's a little bit of breaking news tonight on the Matt Hardy Show.
Breaking news.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I know. I'll make it a hotkey.
Yeah, you just have to get a little bit of production value in there.
We don't have production value at all. We have no budget for it.
We have no budget.
We have no budget.
We have no budget. And apparently, back to what we were talking about a minute ago, with us just being a Sunday show, apparently we're getting grief from the morning guys.
Are we?
Yeah, that's what I saw here. Let me navigate back up here.
Because as an ex-morning show member, I can squash it right here, now.
We're getting a little bit of grief. Apparently, I'm trying to find it in the comments. Here it is. Charis Mady says, "Hi, Matt. It's so funny every Monday morning, Dawn and Greg get frustrated how much you guys change their mics and head setups. It's hysterical."
We don't. I don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm most curious about, because if I was guilty, I'd admit to it.
Do they know that also...
I mean, look, you
also, Dawn doesn't sit in your studio. She's in there. And
Dawn's over there.
No one goes in there. The only person who is in your studio is Nick.
Yeah.
And he changes it himself.
Right. And there's nothing different. The only literal thing I do when I come in here, the hotkey panel, for whatever reason, faces the wall. I turn it around so I can see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? I plug in my cute little Apple tablet here. I take that home with me.
Yeah,
my headset goes back to the other side of the broadcast desk here.
Yeah, we don't change. Yeah, we don't change anything.
I don't change anything.
We don't change anything.
So I encourage you, Charis, if you're listening tomorrow and Stocker or Dawn go off on us, defend your Sunday night boys. We're innocent.
I'm also not the last person in this studio, in the producer studio. I'm not. There's someone else that comes in after me, so I don't know what they want from me.
I'm done with this
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll leave again. I'll threaten to leave. If that's what they want. I'll leave again.
Maybe we should make a mess.
Greg hasn't said anything to me, so I don't.
It can't be that bad.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing anything.
Yeah. Now, Zioli used to give me grief when Zioli was in the morning.
It's because it's Zioli.
Yeah, he would complain about the headset and everything, but that's just Rich being Rich.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
But we're just a Sunday night show, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just encourage you all, those of you that are here week after week and you like our product and you care deeply about us, stick up for us a little bit. We're innocent. We didn't do nothing.
I haven't heard anything.
Nope.
Again, Greg doesn't change anything either. He comes in here and he sits down.
Yeah.
That's it.
With his luscious blonde locks.
Unless they're referring to the stuff on the stream, which we could spend 3 hours on that, but that's not my...
Well, that's not what Charis is saying.
Oh, it's like the mics.
Charis is saying it's like the mics and the headsets.
Yeah, we don't touch that.
And the setup.
We don't touch that.
Nothing changes.
We don't touch that.
We're low maintenance. We're a low maintenance show.
You're not. I am.
How am I high maintenance?
I mean, you're coming in here with a Starbucks every day, so you acting like you bougie or something.
Well, no, but I want to be clear about this Starbucks, though.
Yeah, go ahead. Address it.
There's nothing fancy in here. It's iced coffee with some milk.
This
isn't a mocha fropa cinnamon
in
twist super latte or anything like that.
Got that in the kitchen.
Nah, you know what? Some weeks that thing works, some weeks it doesn't. He's referring to the cappuccino maker that's in the kitchen that can spit out a variety of different
here we
types of
go.
coffee.
There's more to the story.
Who's
Margaret Nalis on this chat.
Oh,
said,
Margaret's there. Hey, Margaret.
I told you both last week. Do you relent? Told you that. Greg said his place is a mess and full of trash. Nick has a fit about his soundboard. Said leave it alone. First of all, not Nick's soundboard. It's the studio soundboard. Second of all,
where's the trash?
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's no trash in here.
There's
Second of all,
trash.
the soundboard goes on the Rooney sound clips. So I don't know what he means by leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what he means.
Everyone at home can't see this, but it's a screen of hotkeys.
Right.
And you just click effortlessly from one to the other. Like
are we starting to beef right now?
Is
the Rooney show and morning show having a beef?
We're beefing a little bit, I guess. Because right now I'm on the Rooney show.
Yep.
Dom Giordano, he deserves to because he's been here for a while. He's got 4 pages of hotkeys.
Yep.
We've got a holiday page. Somebody made movie drops. There's Star Wars for whatever reason.
Always with you, it cannot be done.
Right? That's in there. There's, because we have New Jersey in our listening area, there's The Godfather, right?
So, like, I want to...
You get the hell out of here.
So, like, I want to know...
If that Goomba tries any rough stuff, you tell him I ain't no band leader. Yeah.
Right. I want to know
that
what
stuff.
he's complaining about.
I have no idea.
Why he's having a fit about his soundboard, because it's a soundboard. It's literally what it does. People are supposed to touch it, and sounds are supposed to come out. It's not his. It's the station's. So, like, let's all calm down. All right? We're going to start a beef here, which is fine because I'm not associated with the morning show anymore.
All right. But we're fine with beefing.
I'm fine with beefing.
Yeah, we'll win.
We'll
win this war.
Nick also has to remember who prints out his stories for the morning. So if he wants the beef, he won't get stories in the morning.
Oh, damn.
Simple as that.
Damn, son.
Which the next month he won't, because I'm not doing it.
We could win this war if we had a more loyal audience, though. They're making fun of us. Gmail says Starbucks is the Budweiser of coffee. I want to be very clear about this. I used to have a Wawa very close to my house. It closed down. So now, when I'm getting ready to get on the road to come in here to Philly to do the show, crossing the Delaware River, really my only choice is the Starbucks. That's my option. If the Wawa was still there, it is overpriced. It's overpriced, but it's strong. I'll give it that much. It's much stronger than Wawa coffee. So if you're trying to stay awake, which, hey, you come over here and try to do a show, ladies and gentlemen, for 3 hours on a Sunday night, right? You go for strong.
Coffee does absolutely nothing to me.
Really?
Nope. Neither do energy drinks.
Okay.
I could drink multiple energy drinks in a day, and I'll still be tired. I could fall asleep after drinking an energy drink. They do nothing for me.
Well, I used to drink Monsters, but then they rotted my teeth out. Like, the only time in my life I've ever had cavities was in law school because I was drinking Monster energy drinks. Those things will just take the enamel right off your teeth. Clean it right off. You got to brush your teeth like 16 times a day, and I'm not even sure it would matter.
Also, more developing drama from the beefing.
And this is, by the way, so you know, if you're missing out on this is youtube.com/@1210WPHT, which I'd also like to point out, the page that who built?
I did.
You built this.
I did.
Don't let Barack Obama or anybody in the morning show tell you any different.
More developing drama from Stephen. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your last name, but Stephen Pakraduni.
Yeah, Steve.
He said it's actually Barry Sable and me that change everything around. LOL.
Confession.
So we have a
So
confession.
Steve comes in on Barry Sable's show. All right, so someone has to tell Greg tomorrow that it's actually Steve. And Steve, I really appreciate you falling on the sword here.
I don't know if it's actually them, but there's a confession.
No, it's not actually them. I come in and there's nothing different. It's stasis in here.
Yeah, if I could move this camera, I would, but there's no trash here at all.
There's no trash.
There's stuff in the trash in the.
I'm gonna take some.
You could see. They could see in that camera right there. That's it. But there's nothing on the desk.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do what you do when you like leave an Airbnb or like you leave an apartment you've been renting for a while. I'm gonna take pictures after every show and I'm gonna post them on X. Over at my handle, Matt Rooney NJ.
You want to put them on the window?
We'll put them on the window so that there's no dispute that we did not leave this place a mess.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, let's take a break so we can start cleaning up all these coffee cups and stuff we've left on the ground. 855-839-1210. That is the number here on the Matt Rooney Show. 1 hour done. But guess what? 2 hours still left to go here on our program. Just touching the tip of the iceberg of everything we got to cover tonight on 1210 WPHT. So go get some caffeine and be back here in just a few.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Do you let other people order for you at a restaurant?
He'll have the saumon lyonnaise.
No, I won't. Or pick the movie you're going to see?
She'd like a ticket to Attack on Rage Mountain.
Really? Yeah, come on. So why would you let others make all the important decisions about how your life is going to be when you get older? I mean, is it okay with you if your kids decide where you're going to live?
My kids? Are you out?
Are you kidding?
Or perfect strangers choose who will be taking care of you?
Not gonna happen.
No,
Better visit longtermcare.gov, the trusted information site that helps you find your own path forward without selling you anything. It takes you step by step through everything you need to consider about aging and all your options. Longtermcare.gov. Stay in charge by planning now or pay later.
How about a mohawk? How about a mohawk? How about I put my foot right... Oh, hi, honey.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551. 800-656-1551.
Debt. We can all get in a bit too deep. Members of the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, can help you put debt in its place.
Credit cards took charge of my financial life. An NFCC credit counselor helped me get back in control. I took charge of my debt.
Student loan debt followed me wherever I went. My NFCC financial advocate taught me all I needed to know. I mastered my student loan debt.
We wanted to buy our first home, but weren't sure if we were mortgage ready. Our NFCC housing counselor helped us make a plan. We're on a path to our first home.
NFCC member agencies serve all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Convenient, helpful, knowledgeable, nonprofit. Financial advocates there for you.
We put debt in its place.
Be one of 5 million people to beat debt by 2020. Connect with an NFCC certified credit counselor at your local member agency today. Go to nfcc.org/stopdebt or call 877-410-6322.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Looking for a natural way to boost energy, support your heart, stay active as you age? It's time to try Rescue Orosine. This unique supplement gives your body the essentials it needs to fight fatigue, improve stamina without relying on sugar, caffeine, or artificial boosters. Plus, it supports healthy blood pressure and overall cardiovascular function, helping you feel your best every day. Right now, my listeners can take advantage of a special buy one, get one free offer on Rescue Orosine. Just use the code MyEnergy when you order. Call 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. You speak with a knowledgeable product consultant or visit res-q.com and enter that code MyEnergy at checkout. Don't miss out. This exclusive deal will not last long. Go to res-q.com and use that code MyEnergy, MYENERGY, to grab Rescue Orosine with that buy one, get one free saving. Stay energized, stay heart healthy with Rescue Natural Supplements.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Celebrate twice as much with NordVPN's birthday deal. Get 72% off and a coupon for up to 1 year free. Visit NordVPN and discover the benefits. Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. Encrypt your online traffic. Reduce the risk of phishing, scams, and malware with NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro. Get the special birthday deal at nordvpn.com. Additional terms apply. NordVPN.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-488-1329. That's 800-488-1329.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Welcome to the end of eras. Ice has melted back to life. Done my time and served my sentence. Dress me up and watch me die. If it feels good, tastes good, it must be mine.
Welcome back, old friends, new frenemies, and all who lie elsewhere in between on this spectrum that is life. This is the Matt Rooney Show. I am the aforementioned Matt Rooney. Kicking off our numero dos of Trace. That's for our bilingual listeners here on 1210 WPHT. We come to you every Sunday night, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard, to recap the week gone by, the things that really matter, in order to prepare you for the week ahead. Honored, privileged, all the things, as Gen Zers would say, to have you with us this evening. And I'm joined, as per usual, or at least when he doesn't have something that he considers something better to do, by the incomparable producer, Daniel Valdez. Hello, Daniel.
Hey.
It's like this.
Almost as articulate as AOC.
I got a lot going on back here, boss.
What's going on?
My job.
Your job?
My job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't let me interrupt you in the middle of the radio show, because you've got more important things that you're working on back there.
Yeah, actually.
Okay. All right. Well, while you're doing that, let's fill everybody in on how you get involved here on the program. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. That's where you can mix it up with us in the chat and watch the show as well as listen to it. I know a very popular thing here on 1210, especially with these evening shows. People put it on their smart TV in their living room. It's like having a little fireside chat with yours truly. It certainly beats most of what you're getting from the network television programs. Why not join us instead of those idiots, right? You can also call the old-fashioned way via the phone. Remember that thing?
The landline.
The landline.
Yeah.
If you want to give us a shout. 855-839-1210. You can also tweet at me over on X. My handle is Matt Rooney NJ.
Original.
The original?
You're Matt Rooney, and you are from Jersey.
I am an original. I'm not the original Matt Rooney on X, though. Somebody beat me to it. It's some guy from the UK, Nottinghamshire, actually.
Matthew Rooney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like if I had a cousin from the UK, though.
I don't know. Someone said you
Another
look
middle-aged guy with glasses.
Someone said you look like Rachel Maddow with facial hair when we first started the show.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that in the chat. I think she has a stronger jaw, probably, than I do. She might be a little bit more masculine than me.
Probably.
What do you think?
Probably. Rachel Maddow? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But
definitely Butch.
Me? I'm a little Butch?
No, she is.
I thought you were calling me Butch.
No.
We'll have to make sure we get that in my station bio.
Our
Butch Sunday night host.
Just the weekend guy.
You'll never know what they say.
Yeah.
You'll never know what they say.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're not just a Sunday night show. We continue to grow by leaps and bounds.
Now we're not, because we're going to be beefing with the morning show.
Well, right, yeah. We're going to get fired tomorrow when Stocker pulls the plug. But this was our high water mark tonight.
Yep. And on a great note.
Yeah.
It's funny because I won't be here for the rest of the month. So it's like, I'm gone.
That's right.
we start this beef, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You told me that you have your way on business. You're doing some things. So you're leaving me alone to defend the honor of our show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very brave.
I have
your profile and courage.
My full-time job I got to get to.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
Requires me to go to Orlando and then Nashville.
Yeah. Yeah. Kimmy says she's going to defend us. We appreciate that.
Also, Margaret, we're not mad. We're having fun with it.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. It's all in jest.
Like I said, I have the power to delete the channel anytime I want.
It's all fun, but that is an actual threat from Dan.
It's not a threat.
That he will kamikaze the YouTube page.
I won't delete it, but, you know, Nick won't get his stories for the morning, and we know how that was important to him. So,
well, he has to find out what's been going on all weekend. He's got stuff to do like everybody else, right?
Yeah.
But we have plenty to cover in the interim here on tonight's program. We'll be joined, in case you missed me saying it in the first hour, by our good friend Victoria Flynn, Assemblywoman from Monmouth County. She wrote a great piece on my website, savejersey.com, over the weekend about women's sports in New Jersey and the New Jersey Democrat gubernatorial field's unwillingness to evolve on this issue. Gavin Newsom out in California, you saw that this week, appears to have kind of thrown in the towel when it comes to the participation of dudes in women's sports. Is that because Gavin Newsom is suddenly a moderate? Of course not. The guy's to the left of Mao. Gavin Newsom wants to be president of the United States, and he recognizes that running for president as the governor that he's been in California ain't going to cut the mustard, as the old saying goes. So he's beginning to pivot. New Jersey Democrats in a gubernatorial year, remember, we're electing a governor in just several short months to succeed Phil Murphy, not yet willing to do the same. We'll see if something happens in the coming months. So Vicki Flynn will be joining us in a little over an hour. And between now and then, we're going to get to as much as we possibly can.
No, we're just going to be for the next 2 hours.
Dan's just going to talk about the morning show.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually try to cover material. Did you get the audio? He was looking.
I do have the audio.
He was looking for the audio of the morning show dumping on us. Do you want to get it out of your system?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, go ahead. So what are we going to hear here?
This was from Friday.
This Friday.
This past Friday. Yeah. I guess they had a guest in here, and they bumped the camera that's in your studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nick said something, but Nick should also know that I don't touch that camera. I play with it on the computer.
I have never seen you touch that thing.
No, because it's set. The only thing that I do
You're not tall enough to reach that.
Correct. I have to stand on a chair.
Yes.
So the only thing I do is I go into our program that we use, and I adjust the zoom and the angle.
Okay.
But the video guy they have now should be able to do that. So yeah, anyway, here you go.
All right, let's listen.
Let's hope this works.
There you go. Oh, and he just smashed the camera. Look at that. Wow. That is a $48 camera from Walmart that you almost took out. Don't worry. Daniel Valdez will move it around anyway on Sunday and piss off Stalker. So it's fine. So
there you go.
Oh, that was pretty gentle.
Yeah, it was gentle, but
I mean, they're definitely blaming you for touching it.
For sure. That was on Friday.
Can you make it descend?
No. That camera is locked into that place right there.
Right. So somebody standing up and braining themselves on that thing, there's nothing you could have done to make it more likely to happen anyway.
Nope. And the funny thing is, it stays put Monday through Friday.
All right. Okay, well, we'll send an emissary to see if we can square all this away.
We won't. I just want to beef with it more, so.
Oh, man. This is going to be harder to solve than the Ukrainian conflict.
It's really not.
But we didn't start it, Dan. We didn't start it.
This is true. We didn't invade.
No.
They invaded us.
We didn't invade anyone. No, we're peace loving.
We're just a Sunday night show.
You're on the Matt Rooney Show. By the way, one of my favorite things, because we were talking about Doge a little bit ago, right, in the first hour of tonight's program. I think Dan might have mentioned the trans mice, transgender mice.
I did not, but I'll take credit
Yes,
for
you did. I think you think you did, but well, it was either that or one of the cuts you played. Someone mentioned trans mice. And Donald Trump brought it up during his State of the Union that wasn't a State of the Union speech, how we're spending millions of dollars on this project. And he got absolutely roasted by the legacy media outlets. But the president was talking about it again this weekend in an interview with Maria over on Fox News. This is cut 7, I believe. I'm double checking now, Daniel, since I flubbed that the first time around.
Yep.
All right, roll it.
They may, but they don't have to do that. They can do it in other ways.
Look, the Democrats say that Elon Musk and Doge are overstepping their bounds. You're right. What Elon Musk and Doge has been able to uncover is unbelievable. Half of us did not even realize.
And stop there. Because look, stop there. You just said what he's done is unbelievable. Now, You could then add some, well, but what about the... He's found hundreds of billions of dollars worth of fake contracts, and I read them, just a tiny portion of them, the other night. Transgender surgery on mice. Hundreds of, I mean, the money they're spending on all of this stuff, the whole thing's a scam. And you'll find ultimately that the money that they sent comes back to a lot of the people that made those deals, okay? You're going to find that. What he's also done is made people realize how many people should be cut. Because normally you go in and you say, all right, cut 4% of your workforce. He said cut 50%, 60%, 70%. That's a big thing. No, he's done a great job.
He's done a good job. And that comment that he originally made during his address to a joint session of Congress earned him the scorn of the leftist media. Because what else are they going to talk about, right? I mean, it was a beautiful speech, wonderfully delivered. I think it was probably Donald Trump's best address that he's ever made. Campaign, term one, altogether, across the board. Democrats in the chamber behave like children, holding those Fogo de Chao signs, right? Some were dressed in black, some were dressed in pink. One of them got thrown out, Al Green, as Rich Zeoli's joke, not the good Al Green, the other Al Green. Complete horror show. So they have to try to find something to be critical about.
Al Green looks like he smells like cigarettes.
Oh,
like
yes.
He looks like he needs a bath. He looks like that he needs a good scrubbing. Yeah.
Could not agree more, Daniel. I said the same exact thing.
You know what? Let's just go one step further. He looks like he smells like cat pee.
Yes, 100%. Like you see Al Green sitting at like a SEPTA station or the PACO station or something, and you move away because he looks like he's stinky.
He's probably going to a gas station and getting a pack of Marlboro Reds.
Yeah.
Maybe some Camels. He likes the unfiltered ones.
Yeah, you're a poor
Uber
or Lyft driver. You see him get in and you start spraying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's smelly. So I think that's, by the way, the strongest Dan and I have agreed on anything. The Congressman Green looks like he stinks. Just want that noted for the record. But they had to find something. So they're all fact-checking Donald Trump on this comment about us spending $8 million for transgender mice. Well, lo and behold, as has often happened in the era of Trump, whether we're talking about Russian collusion or anything else, name it, right? They say that Donald Trump's a liar. They say that he's making stuff up, and then invariably they're ultimately proven wrong. They don't always admit they're wrong, but it becomes clearly evident that they're wrong, right? The Hunter Biden laptop, the list goes on and on. So CNN originally put out a fact check.
They're wrong.
They're wrong. Total liars. Not like Donald. So CNN put out a fact check article. They love these fact check articles about the transgender mice, but they've now had to quietly edit it, right? Because it's true. We're spending money on transing mice. This is no joke. They're continuing to repeat it as if it's true.
You know what else is true, but people thought it was false? When Alex Jones was like, they're turning the freaking frogs gay. That actually turned out to be true. Fun fact.
Fun fact?
Fun fact.
Da-na-na-na.
Actually turned out to be true, whether they're gay or they're trans frogs, somewhere in that realm, but he was actually right.
Well, listen to this.
So.
This is what CNN did to their article. An earlier version of this item incorrectly characterized as false Trump's claim about federal money being spent for making mice transgender. This article has been updated with context about the spending, which was for research studies on the potential human health impacts of treatments used in gender-affirming care. So there's actually a couple layers to this one, ladies and gentlemen. Not only has CNN had to admit, however quietly they're going about it, that they were wrong and Donald Trump was correct after mocking him, but wasn't the safety of quote-unquote gender-affirming care repeatedly asserted by Democrats as if it was unassailable science, and it was crazy that anybody would question that the transing of children is anything other than perfectly sound and safe? So why is the government paying millions of tax dollars to experiment on mice, these things they want to do to your children, if there's no question that these things they're doing to your kids are safe? Does someone want to explain that to me? I have a feeling they don't, and I think you know why. But they're going to continue to repeat their lies all the same. We've got some audio from Van Jones, right? On CNN at the same time his news organization is admitting it's false. Van Jones doubling down. Cut 6.
You ask Americans, should we eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? You'll get a lot of response for that. If you start defining waste, fraud, and abuse as things that they value and workers that are essential, they're going to have a much different view. So the initial blush of Musk with his chainsaw may have had some resonance. The fact that he's cutting down stuff indiscriminately, less so.
Well, it's not all indiscriminate. I mean, we don't really need the transgender mice, do we? I mean,
that's not even real.
It is real. I'm sorry, man. It's real.
It's not. No, listen.
Is it real or not?
Hey, hold on a second.
Did we have to say it was real or not?
No, hold on.
It's real.
I mean, Musk was a shield.
How about the
It's a real thing. So look, my point is,
listen. What they weren't talking about trans.
Don't defend the mice.
No. Listen, you don't want to talk about it. We don't talk about it. But there were it wasn't transgender. It was a different term that was misinterpreted as transgender. They were actually doing basic medical experiments on mice to figure out.
Don't spoil a good troll.
It's just not true.
Jennings.
Medical procedures.
It just doesn't even matter with these people. The orange man says something, and he's bad, so it must be bad, right? Thank God for us. Thank God for 1210 WPHT. We're not going to let them get away with lying anymore. Let's take a break to play some ads, make some money. I'm going to go get another coffee, and we'll be back with more Matt Rooney Show in just a moment.
Heroes always get remembered, but you know legends never die.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing.
When it comes to great deals on tax prep, Jackson Hewitt isn't holding back, and neither is this commercial. Their offer is so big, it has to be said with Reverb. Expert tax prep for $149 or less. It's a deal so spectacular, it needs a symphony, some explosions, and a clock ticking, because this offer $149 or less. And soon, one expert tax prep for $149 or less. Try Jackson Hewitt today and save. Whew. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
All right, everybody, it's here. The March to Spring Training and Opening Day is officially upon us. Hey, I'm Rob Bradford from Baseballs and Boring, and we'll have you covered every single day with instant reactions to late-breaking signings, determining which players are, yes, truly in the best shape of their lives, and behind-the-scenes stories from all the excitement and intrigue that spring training brings. Follow Baseball Isn't Boring in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Did you see this story on Libs and TikTok that I put on the stack, Dan? A 340-pound woman, Jennifer Lee Wilson, sentenced to 6 years in prison after she reportedly admitted to sitting on her foster kid.
What a lucky guy. Lucky guy.
340 pounds sitting on a kid. Sat on him for a few minutes. That was the allegation. And then crushed and killed The poor little dude. I devised a punishment for her. Well, I was reading
No
this
more
story.
cheeseburgers.
Well, I think that she should be locked for eternity in a Salad Works. Now we're gonna have to take the ranch dressing and cookies because Salad Works has some pretty choice cookies, by the way.
So she killed someone. That means we have to ban literally all fat people, right?
I see what you did there.
Because if one fat person killed one person, that means another fat person is going to kill someone else. So we have to ban fat people.
Assault fat people.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're not just fat people; they're assault fatties.
Let's not say all fat
like
people.
like assault weapons.
I'll say like 300-pound people and above. Is that better?
Well, it depends how they carry it, right?
True.
Because you could be like Hulk Hogan in the '80s and be 300 pounds and not be a fatty.
Right. But if you're like Chris Christie, then
right. If you're like Fatty McThunder Biscuits.
Yeah.
Now he's crushed people's hopes and dreams. I'm not aware that he's ever crushed an actual human.
Or we just get rid of forks. We go back to the caveman times and we use our hands.
How's that going to solve anything?
Because it gets rid of the.
You care to elaborate?
Gets rid of the obesity problem. She can't eat anymore if there's no forks.
Well, why can't she just use her hands?
Get rid of her hands too. Get rid of them.
Did we mention that Dan is also a Sharia attorney?
I am now.
Yeah, he specializes in Old Testament punishment.
Actually, I got my law degree from Lawyers R Us. So,
Lawyers R Us.
I know a thing or two about the law. I know what's legal and what's not. Water torture, not legal, but advised.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if only we could live in a world, Dan, that was of your design.
We do.
What
It's
a
called
wonderful place it would be.
It's called the United States.
It's called the United States of America.
Or New York City, because you can get away with anything there.
I was in New York on Friday. Definitely a different
shot?
place than it used to be. No, it was pretty shady, though. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Way, way more homeless than the last time I was in the city. Way more homeless people. In the wealthiest place on the planet, right? You've got more billionaires in Manhattan than anywhere in the globe, probably, in terms of raw numbers.
More than Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Well, Los Angeles is just strictly celebrities.
Well, I mean, you got some billionaires out there, right? I mean, you got some out there, but
yeah.
But New York has a ton of billionaires. So I looked this up, as of 2024, New York City is home to 119 billionaires. The next closest is London, 97 billion. Mumbai has 92 billionaires, I should correct that. Beijing has 91. Communism works for some, but not for some others, right? It's like Orwell's Animal Farm. Some pigs are more equal than others, notably those 91 billionaires over in Beijing, while the Chinese people suffer and starve on the mainland. Los Angeles has 62, so about half as many, for those of you that learned math from the teachers union. About half as many billionaires in L.A. as in New York. The point is, those 119 billionaires, I'm guessing many of them do not share my politics, could easily get together and feed and clothe and house the homeless of New York City, but they don't. Which makes you wonder what liberalism is really all about, right? Is it really about helping your fellow man, or is it about control? Is it about rich, mostly white, educated people with lots of money trying to tell everyone else how to live their lives? I'll let you guess. You get 3. First 2 don't count.
The third one.
I'll tell you what, Dan, you are smart as a whip.
Damn right I am.
You're the smartest liberal woman I know.
That's what you get from Lawyers R Us.
Yeah, well, most of the lawyers I went to school with are a heck of a lot better. Law school can actually make you dumber.
Look at Kim Kardashian. She passed the baby bar, and she's not doing anything.
Your girl Kim.
Kimmy K.
That was the biggest revelation of tonight's show. Not that the morning show is talking smack, and not all the other interesting news bites and analysis we've been offering our audience. It's that you're a fan of Kim Kardashian.
No, I'm not a fan of the show. I just said that the way they make me feel poor does something to me. I don't know if it's like an internal struggle or what it is, but the way that show makes me feel poor. I don't know. I've also seen, going back to our earlier discussion, I've thought of more reality television. I've seen Yes to the Dress, solely by myself. Bella was not around. I just wanted to indulge.
Why?
Just kidding. She was with me when I watched it.
Why would you watch that?
She wanted to watch it. She wanted to watch it.
Now, let me ask you this. When you're watching something like, say, Yes to the Dress with Bella, are you actually watching, or are you doing what I do? I put in my headphones or have my laptop.
No, I'm watching.
And you actually watch it?
I'm watching. Sometimes I chime in. I'm like, that dress do not look good on her. You know what I mean?
And you say it exactly like that.
Just like that. I'm like, ooh, she needs to steer away from that dress. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
the normal way that you talk.
Let's go somewhere else. Don't go out of Kleinfeld's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is in New
He
York.
does voices, folks.
Which is in New York. So
he's got plenty of talent.
Full
plenty
circle.
of talents. By the way, over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT, you can weigh in over there in the chat if you want to participate in tonight's show, and of course confirm that I am indeed as handsome as I sound and you can see me. Jimmy has joined the chat. He says, will Matt be talking about the auto pen scandal? That was a question direct to you, Daniel.
I don't know. Is that on your show sheet?
No, it's not.
Then no.
You're not aware of this?
I know. I know about it. Yeah.
Well, then why don't you tell us about it then, Mr. Smart Guy?
So essentially, Biden was not using a pen. He was using an auto pen, and it wasn't really his real signature. It was more of a computer-generated type of thing, and he wasn't actually writing it.
So why did you lapse into Elmer Fudd?
I don't know.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't understand the choice.
I just felt like it was the right thing to do to really get into my character.
Right. Well, I'll fill those of you in who don't
what it was.
Who don't know why this is. Well, yes, but here's the angle. So the idea is that allegedly Biden's auto pen signature, which you would expect to see on a hat, right? Or an autograph or that Christmas card or
not
that
official executive orders.
Right, like you get a letter from your grandmom that turned 100 from the President of the United States, you expect that to be auto pen. You don't expect to see it on, an executive order, some other official document. So now, this report that Biden's auto pen signature is littering these major public documents, official documents. Some are questioning, oh, well, does this raise concerns as to who was in charge of the White House during the Biden years? Here's my reaction. Unless we can craft a legal argument to undo some of the damage Biden did using this as a basis, at this point, I don't want to say who cares, but isn't this well-established territory that Joe Biden was not in charge of the executive branch for most of his time in office?
Joe Biden also didn't know.
He was actively crapping himself in a corner while Obama's people and his wife and other bad actors were running the country. I mean, is this a surprise to anyone?
Joe Biden also didn't know what natural gas was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at it as old news. It's maybe further confirmation of what we already knew.
So everything that was signed without auto pen, it's no longer active. It is now voided.
Well, right. So if we can do that, then I'm all game. But I'm unaware that because the president signed with an auto pen, therefore the executive order is invalidated. I mean, I'll give you an example. In the legal world, right? I'm a lawyer. I deal with lawyers every day. It's not at all unusual. In fact, it's very normal in 2025 to sign something with your digital signature.
I do it all the time.
Right. So how do you know whether or not it's the attorney that did it or his paralegal or his secretary that put the signature on there? Now, I'm not the president of the United States, right? So I'm not signing executive orders that have an impact on millions or billions of people, right? But I don't know. I'm not trying to pour cold water on anyone that's excited about this story, but
I don't.
What does it add to what we already knew?
Ecstatic for the story. Shoot yourself. Ecstatic, jumping out of my seat right now.
If you actually did any show prep, this would have appeared on your show prep, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Yeah, you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Matt Rooney Show. Dan Valdez is not Matt DeSantis. Matt DeSantis produces. He actually has cut it down in recent years. He used to produce like a 70-page dossier for every Rich Zeoli show. Now he's got it down to what, like 20 pages?
I don't know.
Yeah, about 20 pages the last time I filled in for Rich, right? Dan does no prep. Dan rolls in here.
That's a lie.
He rolls in here and just does the show, completely wings it. You put together Twit Talk, which is work.
Yes.
That is work. I'll give you that.
You do your own show sheet. So I'm like, all right.
I'd be fine if you added stories though. You don't have to. It's not part of our deal, but
we used to do that before.
We did do that before.
Yeah.
We were using what was it called?
Evernote.
Evernote, yeah. Well, we could do that again if you wanted. Do you want to do that?
It's fine.
All right. We'll talk about it.
I'll have my people call your people.
Have your people call my people, and we'll negotiate ahead of the next program.
Yeah.
855-839-1210. Them be the numbers here at the Matt Rooney Show. And again, remember, over on YouTube, youtube.com/at1210 WPHT. What do you think, Dan? Should we play some ads?
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, let's play some ads. The advertisers like it when we play their ads that they pay for. And I'm going to get some coffee. I'm going to try the coffee machine. I'm curious whether it's working this week. Back in a few.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Edelman's Coins, Philadelphia's local bullion dealer. Edelman'sCoins.com.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee, if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Every year, millions of Americans use opioids to manage pain. Pain can be unrelenting, overwhelming, and all-consuming. So why do so many of us try to manage pain only from the palm of our hands? Doctor-prescribed opioids are appropriate in some cases, but they just mask the pain. And reliance on opioids has led to the worst drug crisis in American history. That's why the CDC recommends safer alternatives, like physical therapy, to manage pain. Physical therapists treat pain through movement, hands-on care, and patient education. No warning labels required. And by increasing physical activity, you can also reduce your risk of other chronic diseases. Pain is personal, but treating pain takes teamwork. When it comes to your health, you have a choice. Choose more movement and better health. Choose physical therapy. Visit MoveForwardPT.com to find a physical therapist in your area. This message is brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Here's Navy Prepper's argument concerning the Biden auto pen story. How many were signed while he was on the beach? Electronic correlation does matter. He can auto pen as long as he's present, but if not interested presence, it's illegal orders. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And look, let's start with the premise that for those of you listening tonight who have any doubt and haven't been listening to this program for years, I thought that the fact that Joe Biden remained in office for the past few years prior to January 20th was not just a disgrace, but also a clear and present danger to America's national security for obvious reason. The guy was in increasingly advanced states of dementia. So let's just accept that premise here for a second. I don't know. I mean, is it really any different than if a president reviews something on the beach and says, yeah, I'm okay with this, affix my signature? Or if he's talking to an aide in Washington and says, yeah, that's fine. Use the auto pen, put my signature on that. Functionally, is it any different? Now, you and I know what the truth is, that it probably wasn't Joe Biden doing it. It was Jill Biden. It was Barack Obama's agents that were working in the White House, this Obama permanent bureaucracy of the Democrat Party that was continuing to pull the levers. I'm just not sure what you do with that right now to undo any Joe Biden actions that Trump couldn't otherwise already undo with executive authority. Am I overthinking this or underthinking this, Dan?
I think people are overthinking this whole thing. If you're using a computer-generated signature, I mean, we don't know if Joe Biden wasn't aware of it, but if he was fully aware of what was going on, granted, I know everything, whatever he went through, or going through whatever the hell he's doing. But if they made him aware and they were like, okay, we're going to slap, a computer-generated signature on it, I don't see an issue with it.
Well, all right,
I use computer-generated signatures all the time.
I'll give you another example. Let's say there's a list of people that are going to be pardoned. And he looks at the list and says, I'm good with pardoning these people.
Okay.
And then they go and they make a bunch of executive orders and slap the
auto
pen on there.
Here's the difference. Executive orders are one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're going to sign an executive order, obviously put your real signature on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's other things within, the White House and within the House and all this kind of stuff that you can just use a computer-generated signature for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I want to know more. But ultimately, the more we know about this potential scandal, it doesn't tell us something that we didn't already know, which is Joe Biden was as incompetent as he was probably also incontinent for most, if not all, of that one and only term, thank God one and only term, that he had in the White House. Jimmy says it's not about undoing it. It's about documenting what happened because those 4 years were so ruinous. Yeah, I mean, see, I actually like that argument better, Jimmy, that in order for us to move forward as a country, and I think we are moving forward now, if the purpose of getting to the bottom of this is cementing how terrible the Biden years were and why we needed to turn away from the trajectory that he had us on, I get that. I endorse that.
Let's just say this. We're talking to the wrong group of people about this thing. Anyone that we talk to who listens to the station or watches, Newsmax or Fox or anything like that, and they're like, oh, Biden done that, they're all going to say, like, you know what? This is terrible. There's all this, avoid everything.
Yeah.
But if you look at it not logically, but if you get a mix of people in here, they're going to be like, okay, it happened, months ago, it happened years ago. We should have picked it up then, but now that he's out and those policies kind of mean nothing at this point, there's really nothing we can do about it. It's kind of a little late for them to be discussed. And granted, Trump came in and they're like, oh, we're going to do investigations, but they should have done this investigation when he was in office to actually prove it. They can't prove anything now. There's nothing that they can do.
Well, who was going to investigate?
Exactly my point. So this is pointless for them
the Republican Congress, in theory, could have held hearings, but the Biden administration would have likely hid behind executive privilege.
But what are they going to do? They're going to be like, oh, did Joe Biden know that he was signing this? Yeah. Okay. They're just going to move on.
Well, here's one way in which it could potentially be relevant, and I think this goes to Jimmy's point over on YouTube. Politico confirming something that we already knew, but adding a little bit more color. Kamala Harris, your girl Kamala, is apparently setting a deadline.
We did it. You're going to be the next president of the United States.
We did it, Joe. We figured out how to use the auto pen, Joe. She has apparently set a deadline to determine whether or not she is going to run for governor of California because California doesn't have enough problems. Do you think the fire was bad? Elect Kamala Harris, your governor.
You think she's going to be worse than
the whole
Newsom?
state's going to be on fire.
You think she's going to be worse than Newsom?
Oh, sure. I mean, Newsom is a radical, but he's not stupid. Kamala, the reason she's so dangerous is she's radical and she's borderline mentally challenged. I am staying in this fight, she's reportedly told allies in a phone call, as reported by Politico. I don't know whether or not this article was influenced by USAID or not, though. That's an entirely separate ball of wax. We'll get to the bottom of that when we get to the bottom of the AutoPen scandal. But according to that outlet, at a pre-Oscars party last weekend, Harris was asked by another party goer when she would make a decision about jumping into the California governor's race. She gave a definitive answer, according to two people with knowledge of the conversation: the end of the summer. And in calls to supporters, allies, and trusted aides in recent weeks, Harris has made clear that she plans to make a decision in a few months. So you have that to look forward to in the warmer weather months, folks. The potential return, formally, of Kamala Harris to electoral politics. And yet another example that the Democrat Party has learned absolutely nothing. They're continuing to double down on everything that has brought them to near ruin over the course of the past few years. Again, we should be happy about this, but, not for nothing, even though I've got my, to use a Danielism, I've got my beefs with the good people of California, some of the choices that they make, right? I still don't like to see my fellow citizens, because they are Americans, even though their values may not always coincide with what we traditionally ascribe to America and Americanism. I still don't like to see them suffer. They are our fellow Americans. They're our fellow citizens. And they are indeed suffering under the socialist, corrupt leadership that they have foisted upon themselves, that meets in Sacramento and is driving that state into the ground. California used to be what people around the world became acquainted with through television and through movies and through other forms of mass media, and it attracted them to this country. Not anymore.
I've had that firsthand. When Bill and I went to California this summer, or not this summer, this past December.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, great trip. Would
Yeah.
love, I would go back with Belle again. It was a great trip. But it wasn't what I thought it was.
How was it different from your expectations?
Like you said, I see it in the movies, I see it in the TV shows. That you think it's this bright, vibrant city, especially Los Angeles and Hollywood. You think it's this bright city, vibrant city. People are just all over the place. You think it's kind of a cool, everyone's out, they all know each other. It's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
Los Angeles and downtown Hollywood, really trashy. It's really dirty. There's homeless literally everywhere. It's the biggest tourist attraction. Everyone that I know that's been to California, it's you don't want to go to Hollywood because it's just the biggest tourist attraction. It's what it is.
Yeah, I've only ever actually been to California once, and I was thoroughly unimpressed.
Yeah, I will say San Francisco is pretty cool. Again, I'm not a big...
Did you see any sidewalk poop?
I did not. Sadly, I told Bella that I really wanted to see it, but I didn't see it.
We did talk about how you saw the Nancy Pelosi
I did not.
building.
I didn't.
I thought you said you did see
I did
that
not.
hideous
No, I would have
building that Elon
remembered,
Musk wants to
but
sell.
I probably didn't know that it was Nancy Pelosi, so I really wasn't looking for it.
Right.
I'm not a big city person, but I did enjoy San Francisco. Enjoyed Alcatraz. There's parts of California that I enjoyed. We went up to Northern California, and then we drove down to Southern California for the last part of our trip. But on the plane there, I was it was unenthusiastic.
Well, that's one of the saddest things about it, right? It's
it's
a beautiful state. It's wasted real estate.
LAX is not anything special. I know people are like, "Oh, it's LAX. It's great." It's not.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's just an airport.
Yeah, I've never been. I don't think I've ever been to LAX actually.
It's literally just an airport. We had our flight out.
The one time I went, I flew into John Wayne Airport in Orange County.
Yeah, we flew into San Jose. So
Okay.
we flew into San Jose because her family are 20 minutes from where they were. But we flew out of Los Angeles because that's where we ended our trip. So we flew out of Los Angeles.
Okay.
But our flight was also midnight, so it really wasn't that bad getting through because it was 10 o'clock at night. But it was just a typical airport.
Now, did Bella share your opinion of California?
She's been out there. So, like I said, she has family out there, so she enjoys going out there. But she's been out there, a couple of times before me. So everything that we did mainly was, it sucks to say, but it was mainly for me, so I can experience it. We did a lot of the same things that she
Well,
did.
it's always about you.
No, I told her I was
The
like,
show, your relationship, it's always about
no, the show, no. Well, the show I just have a mild influence in. But I told her if we go out, like I want to do things like we haven't done, which we did. A lot of the times we have done things that we haven't done, but a lot of the things we've done that she has done too. So,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens in California, whether or not Kamala gets elected.
California.
Whether or not she decides to run. Many things left to be decided.
I really don't think she's going to get it. I don't.
Why not?
I don't. Unless she's the
She
prime
would not be the
candidate,
first.
but
She would not be the first vice president who tried to become president, lost, and then attempted to make a comeback by running for governor of California.
No, but I'm also saying, like,
You know who else did that?
Enlighten me.
Richard Nixon.
Look at that. Also used an auto pen, by the way.
And then he said
he was the first one to use an auto pen.
And then he said, "Is that true? Is that true?
Yes.
Is that a real fact?"
Look it up.
Okay, I believe you.
Yeah, first one to use it.
And then he lost, and he said, "You won't have Richard Nixon to kick around anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Famously.
But you also have to realize how far, not right, but how much more red California went this past election. Like, it was solid blue. And now,
11 points.
Right.
It swung 11 points
11
in the GOP,
points.
yeah.
Right. So you also think those people were being taken away from Harris's chance of being governor. So it's like, it's really, that state's a toss-up.
I mean, it's still a very blue state, though.
Right. I totally get
now,
that.
New Jersey was second
Right.
in the country in terms of a swing, but Donald Trump only lost New Jersey by 5.9 points.
But you also think that people in California are fed up with how Newsom ran the state.
We'll see.
Like, he didn't do anything for the fires. Like, he hasn't done anything. He's going on podcasts with Charlie Kirk thinking that people, trying to fool people that he's a moderate now. Like, he hasn't done anything for the state. He's not good for the state. If they want Kamala Harris in there, she's going to destroy it even more.
Yeah. I mean, look, one would think if there was ever a time where a Republican had a chance in California to make something happen, it'd be coming up in this next election. Newsom fatigue. You've got damaged goods on the ballot in the form of Kamala Harris. You've got certain key groups, including black men, Hispanics generally, trending towards Donald Trump's America First Party. So, yeah, maybe something cool can happen out there. You know what? It's going to depend on whether or not the Republicans can come up with a solid candidate. They need someone who can replicate that coalition. Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah.
Is that who you're for?
I think there was word that she was going to run for governor at some point. I don't know if it was a couple years ago, but
yeah, it didn't work out so well the first time around.
It didn't work out for good old Bruce at that point.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, maybe if Caitlyn goes back to Bruce, could have a better shot.
I don't know.
Although Bruce isn't really Bruce anymore.
Bruce isn't Bruce
missing
anymore.
some important equipment, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still has his gold medals though.
Well, I'd rather have the other part of me back personally.
He has. Did he go through that surgery?
I don't know.
Or she? Or
I have
them?
no idea.
I don't know.
Last thing I truly want to think about. I'm immediately sorry I even went down this road.
This keeps me up at night. I lay in bed. I'm like
wondering whether Bruce Jenner had bottom surgery or not.
Yeah, I lay in bed and I'm like, damn. Does Caitlyn Jenner have a penis?
I'd Google it right now, but I'm extremely worried about what I'm going to get.
I don't know.
Yeah, you look it up on your computer.
I don't have my computer.
Wait till the morning show finds that when they come in.
Who cares? It's for research.
It is research.
I'll look it up right now.
This is important stuff. Did Caitlyn Jenner have bottom surgery? Is Bruce still Bruce? I don't know the answer to that.
No. She had gender-affirming surgery.
What's the difference?
That's what Google says. I don't know.
Was it tested on mice?
I don't know.
Navy over on YouTube says no, we didn't do the thing removal.
67, one of the most high-profile American transgender women, says in an upcoming memoir that she had the surgery in January. This was in 2017. and that she decided to go public so all of you can stop staring. You want to know, so now you know, which is why this is the first time and the last time I'll ever speak on it. Jenner wrote in a leaked excerpt from her memoir, The Secrets of My Life. So there you go.
What does that mean?
She said, having a penis had no special gifts or use to me. I just want to have all the right parts. I am also tired of tucking the damn thing in all the time.
So Bruce did get it chopped off.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Okay, well, no,
Yeah.
it was the original quote was a little bit
When I asked
ambiguous,
asked Google, it said yes, they've had the gender affirming surgery, but
no special value. Huh?
correct. So according to good old Bruce and / Caitlin,
I mean, didn't she have
no
kids
value.
with that thing that you don't believe has any
Well,
value?
that was when it was Bruce. Yeah, they had Kylie and Kendall. So
I mean, how can you not see that as mental illness? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I mean, God loved the man, but like, how is that anything but? Seriously.
But here's the thing. Is it okay because it was not as a kid, fully developed grown man?
Yeah.
Is that more acceptable? To me, I don't care. You're above the age of 18. I don't care. Do what you want. So like his life doesn't affect me. So like sure.
Well, I think it's a different question, right? So it's a medical ethics issue, not a general interest issue, arguably. So in other words, whether or not doctors should be letting other doctors chop off other people's winkies.
No. I don't mean that. I
It's
mean
a
like,
different thing.
I
But
don't mean
society has a very high interest in protecting children.
No, I don't mean like chopping off the diddly or the winky. I don't mean that. I just mean
Fireman.
I just mean being transgender. Like, is it acceptable at that age? Because fully grown adult.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Successful, all that kind of stuff.
I don't look at it, Dan, in terms of acceptable or not acceptable, because to me that it's obviously mental illness, and we shouldn't be affirming mental illness. The question is, okay, what is society going to permit, right? And I agree with you. There is a differentiation between adults and children, right?
Yeah.
Whether or not an adult should be able to go and have that done, is it really any different than someone getting so much cosmetic surgery they turn themselves into a cat, right? We haven't made that illegal. Meow, meow, meow. Haven't made that illegal. When it comes to a child, yeah, I mean, I think that's where you draw the line, correct, right? You step in and you say that we should not put children, 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 14-year-olds, in a position where they're making life-altering decisions because their parents are a little bit screwy, right? Or they went to the wrong doctor. That's where I draw the line. And by the way, we don't have that study back yet as to whatever happened to those mice. I want to see the mouse study. I don't think that's unreasonable. Speaking of unreasonable, Dan.
Hold on. Bella's asking a question.
Bella has a question?
Bella's asking a question.
We stopped the show for Bella.
Bella's asking you a question.
Asking me a question. Go ahead.
She said, ask Matt why we should affirm people with, like, and should we, she worded this weird. Ask Matt why we should affirm people with mental illness. And I mean mental illness as a whole. Because when you say that for trans people, you say that, why shouldn't we affirm people with mental illness?
Why shouldn't we affirm people with mental illness? Because when you affirm people with mental illness, you're not addressing the mental illness, you're encouraging the mental illness, right? Because what transgenderism really is people think that they're trapped in the wrong body. They're rejecting the body that nature, God, however you conceptualize it, they've been given. That's, I think, self-evidently not a healthy thing to encourage. And part of the reason why we have such high incidence of suicide among people that have gone through gender-affirming surgery is because we're affirming a mental illness. So it's not healthy, it's not good, it's damaging not just for society, but it's not good for these people. I mean, if you had somebody that came in, and I'm not trying to be funny, you had somebody come into your office and say, listen, I'm a duck, right? You would look at them as if they had just arrived in an alien spacecraft, and you wouldn't encourage them to think that they're a mallard, would you? This is no different.
Transgender aside, I think let's rephrase our question.
Yeah.
Transgender aside, why shouldn't, I guess, is it acceptable?
Well, again, think about any type of mental illness. What if somebody...
Take the same question, but take transgender out of it.
Right, so what if somebody's a pyromaniac, right?
Yeah.
What if somebody's a kleptomaniac? What if somebody's afraid to leave their house, agoraphobic, right? We don't affirm those mental illnesses. We try to treat those mental illnesses. I mean, what would you do with somebody who was afraid to leave their house? Yeah, you know what? You're right. The world's pretty scary. Stay inside. You're not meant to go outdoors. You wouldn't do that, would you?
I wouldn't.
So we shouldn't be making these people or leading these people to think or encourage them to think that they can do what only a frog can, but humans can't, which is change your gender. You can't change your gender. Trump said it beautifully during his speech last week, better than I've ever heard any Republican say it. It's a cruel thing to teach anyone, but especially children, that somehow they're in the wrong body, right? God doesn't make mistakes. None of us are born perfect. You got things about yourself you don't like, but we need to go back to where we were in the 80s or 90s when we were teaching people to have healthy self-esteem.
So
love the way you are.
Same question for the third time.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm. Not as extreme, but mental illness as in like anxiety, depression, like all the more common ones.
Well, we don't affirm that. That's not how we treat those illnesses. If you go to a doctor and you have anxiety, they treat your anxiety. Sometimes they do it with medication. Sometimes you do it through talk therapy, right? So they try to address what the underlying causes of your anxiety are. The doctor doesn't say, well, you're just an anxious person, go with it. Right? I mean, I'm not trying to make light of Bella's question because it's not a bad question. I don't know what I can add to what I just said. We don't affirm mental illness. For whatever reason, we affirm this mental illness when we don't affirm any others. Well, why? Well, because there is political hay to be made of it. Democrats like creating victims. And also, the pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry, realize they can make buco bucks off of this quote-unquote gender-affirming scam. They can make a ton of money off it. And that's why all these big hospitals were starting to get in on it until Donald Trump came back to office and began pushing back. Right? I mean, what else can I say?
I don't know.
But we're going to have Bella back soon, and we can talk about it if she wants.
Yeah.
We always enjoy talking to Bella about this stuff. And we enjoy talking to all of you about just about anything here on the Matt Rooney Show. 2 hours done, sad to say, but guess what? We still have one more big hour ahead, including a visit from our good friend, Vicki Flynn, Assemblywoman from the Jersey Shore, to talk about the latest on the Democrat side of the 2025 New Jersey gubernatorial race. You're not going to want to miss this here on 1210 WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
The flag handoff. So you will have this for a week.
You can take it for a week. Doing this successfully since the election when Jimmy Matthews ran up the steps.
Now, where will this go? Are you putting it on the vehicle? Are you going to put it on the front of your house, on your front porch? What are you doing with it?
It'll be on my vehicle in the back. I have a flagpole that goes in the hit.
Okay. Oh, it's awesome. Beautiful.
So when I'm driving, it'll stand up, right?
It's going to be beautiful next week. You have a truck?
Yeah.
If you take your truck to the car wash, take the flag with it. The flag could use a little waxing as well.
It could.
Yes.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
All 5 people on board the small single-engine plane that crashed in Lancaster County have survived. 2 people are dead and 5 others are injured, including 3 kids, in an accident on Route 55 in Gloucester County. Negotiators are trying to find a solution to keep 2 Delaware County hospitals from closing their doors for good.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause. Brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
For a complete list of Talk Radio 1210 WPHT's contest rules, go to 1210WPHT.com/rules.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by calling 844-300-LEAF to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water, and it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty, so you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Call Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate and to save up to 30%. Dial 844-300-LEAF. That's 844-300-LEAF.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
I ain't that cool, a little in the head. They'll be me quick when I'm back from the dead. Get the rope, get the rope, get the rope, get the rope. I'm a punk rock kid, I came from hell with the curse. She tried to pray it away, so I f***ed her in church. Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you know? Yeah, don't you know? They say you're not safe here.
Hour number 3 of the Matt Rooney Show is officially underway. Welcome back, boys and girls, especially those of you first just now joining us. Maybe you've been up to something else on Sunday night. You're just tuning in for the third hour of tonight's program. Thrilled you've made time for us on your Sunday evening. Packing lunches, cleaning up from Sunday family dinner. You don't have football to watch, so you're not recovering from any of that. Whatever you're doing, however you got here, we really appreciate it. And we're excited to have you. Because we don't ease up on the throttle through the end of the program. No coasting in the third hour. The third hour is as consequential, sometimes more so, than the rest of the program. Remember, youtube.com/@1210WPHT here on the Matt Rooney Show. And then, of course, you can tweet at me over on X. Matt Rooney NJ is my handle. We've got Vicki Flynn coming up, Assemblywoman from New Jersey's great Monmouth County, who's going to be filling us in on some of the latest dimensions of the Democrat race for governor this year in the Garden State. She's a Republican, but she's got a great story up today. I'm a little biased, of course, on my website, SaveJersey.com, about how, unlike Gavin Newsom out in California, New Jersey's Democrat field thus far in 2025, sticking to their belief that men should be allowed to compete in women's sport and beat the tar out of girls in the name of leftism. What a world we live in. What a time to be a Democrat. And, of course, this hour, we're going to wind things down once we get to the finish line with a little segment called Twit Talk, which every week causes me to spend about a solid 15 minutes with my index finger hovering over the dump button. But usually we get through okay. It's crass, it's coarse, sometimes funny, usually horrifying. It's when Dan takes over the show. He curates the clips. Should I keep him on a tighter leash? Absolutely. But if he had a contract, it would be in it. What would you do, Dan, if I told you you could not do Twit Talk anymore? Would you quit?
No. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. I think we would just come up with something more.
Would you be upset?
No. It's not like a segment that I hold dear to my heart.
I'm surprised by this answer.
No, it's not a segment that I hold dear and to my heart. If you text me tomorrow and you're like, I think we should do away with it, I'll be like, okay. I'll ask you, did you want to replace it?
I think you're screwing with me right now.
No.
Because I don't believe that you believe that.
No. It's been a lot harder to find somewhat entertaining TikToks that correlate to video and audio, because a lot of TikToks are mainly video.
So you're saying it's not as fun as it used to be.
Right. And now all my TikToks nowadays are like political, and that's not the point of TikTok. Yes, some of it is, but like not all of it. The main of TikTok is supposed to be just weird and bizarre things
Right.
that I find
But I didn't
funny.
tell you they all had to be political.
Right. I understand that, but ever since Trump got elected, now my whole TikTok and Twitter is just
Oh, I see. It's been taken over by politics.
it's been taken over by politics, and it's slim pickings, honestly. Like
Is that because the genre of people that use TikTok have
Yes.
just been consumed by politics?
Yes.
On both sides?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I just TikTok for me, the way that I thought of it when we were coming up with a segment, it's the last 20 minutes of the show on a Sunday night. We don't want to talk about politics anymore, so let's just have some fun with it.
Because that's
And-
always been a core
right.
philosophy of the Matt Rooney Show. We're serious about politics. We take politics seriously, but we don't believe in 3 hours of just nothing but hardcore rants on
Correct.
political issues.
Right. So the last 20 minutes of the show, these are just to be like, what weird and
kooky things we wanna
effed
talk
up
about.
things can we find on TikTok and Twitter that will be entertaining. But no, if you text me tomorrow, you're like, I think we should just get rid of it in general, or if Greg texts me and was like, let's get rid of it, I'll be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like it's not I don't hold it. It's not like near and dear to my heart. It's not like something I'm gonna ride or die with.
Yeah.
Clearly, you guys survived without it when I wasn't here, so it's not like it make or breaks the show. There's people who like it and there's people who don't. So
Yeah, no, there's people that are horrified by it, and then there's people who love it. It's their favorite part.
they've
of the
been.
program.
I've toned them down a lot since we first started the segment.
No, you have not.
Are you kidding me? Yes, I have. Yes, I could get really weird if you really wanted to.
Was it weirder in the beginning?
Yeah.
Am I sanitizing it?
No, I think it's me.
No, I'm saying like, is my memory sanitizing?
Oh yeah,
how
for
bad
sure.
it really was.
For sure.
Maybe that's
you should
what it
see
was.
some of the things that I like on my TikTok that I don't play. Some of them are just really bizarre, and I'm like, that's funny, but I can't play that. It's either really grotesque, or they go against the FCC, or it's just something that I don't want on the station.
If we had an after show, like sometimes certain programs
all
do
of them would get
online,
played.
Yeah,
All of them would get played.
we'd have a bonus segment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to censor all of them.
Yeah, and some of you would walk away with white hair.
Yeah.
You're a strange little man, Daniel.
Thanks.
But we're happy to have you here on the Matt Rooney Show.
I'm saying I'm special.
The voices tonight. That's like your third new voice.
Hey, I took last week to heart, People were like, why are you so grumpy and all this and all that? And I'm like, I don't want to be known as the grumpy guy. I want to be known as the guy who beefs with the morning show for touching the cameras. So I'm like, let's just have a little fun with it today.
Everyone's allowed to be grumpy from time to time. I mean, you were a grumpy Gus last week.
Yeah.
But there are weeks where I come in here and I'm not sunshine and light.
Yeah, it's just, today it's like, well, it's my last show for the month because I got to do other things on Sunday. So it's like, let's just have some fun with it,
Yeah, we'll probably have, I think, Justin Otero in here if I had to guess.
You can still do
Who's
TikTok. I can
who's
send you
always
TikTok.
good.
I can still send you TikToks if we want.
Yeah, well, we can do that.
Yeah,
We'll keep it going.
We're not doing that.
Why not?
I have so much other things to do at my other job that I don't have time to just send you TikToks.
You don't have time to
No.
focus exclusively on the Matt Rooney Show?
Not at my other job, no.
What else are you doing when you're sitting in an airport or a hotel room pining for Bella?
Oh, airport,
Halfway
sure.
across the
Airport,
country.
sure. But when I land, I got to go unload trucks. I got to load trucks. I got to set up all this stuff, I got to rehearse shows, all that kind of stuff.
You don't get to relax at all?
Maybe like the last half of the day. Usually we're like one of my schedules for the upcoming week is like 6A to like maybe 8P.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you working for a living.
Yeah, and the only time that we get maybe is like at night, and it's only a couple hours because we have to be in early the next day.
Wow.
So it's not like I can just go out and explore Orlando and be like, I'm in Florida. It's not like that at all. It's not a vacation.
That's sad.
It is what it is. I get miles, so.
Oh, there you go.
I don't care.
You and Bella can go back to California.
There we go.
Maybe you'll finally get to see some poopy sidewalks this time.
I was hoping.
You never know. Remember, over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT, if you want to participate in tonight's program. New poll out on Friday, in case you missed it, from RMG. Who do you trust more on inflation? Democrats have continued to try to find their footing, attacking Donald Trump and the Trump administration. They have not been able to land a punch yet. One thing they have attempted to make hay of is the price of eggs, which has doubled in recent months. I haven't paid $8 for eggs, but I guess some people are.
Just get some chickens.
Well, if there was ever a time to get some chickens, this is it. The proximate problem's been the bird flu, right? They've had to kill so many chickens because of the bird flu. But at this point in time, this RMG poll, who do you trust more on inflation? Republicans beating Democrats by double digits. 45% trust Republicans. Democrats, only 34% trust them more. That's an 11-point gap. That's seismic. Now, do I expect that number could change if inflation is still raging a year from now and we're in the midterm cycle? Sure, it could. But things were so bad during the Biden years, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. I think Republicans are going to get a little bit longer of a runway, a little bit more of an enduring honeymoon than they might otherwise normally expect to receive. Thanks, again, to the incompetence of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Republicans, of course, need to do something with it. They can't just rest on their laurels or assume that the American people are going to continue to blame the former administration indefinitely. And God knows
Laurel
the
or
media.
Yanny?
Laurel or Yanny?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Do you not remember that whole trend like years ago?
No, what's
where,
this?
Do you remember the dress where it was it a white and gold dress or was it a black and blue dress? Do you remember that?
No, what's
oh
this
my
from?
gosh, there was a post on like Instagram or like Twitter when it was Twitter back in the day. There was a picture of a dress, and people were like, "Oh, I see a blue and black dress," and some people were like, "Oh, I see a gold and yellow or like a gold and black."
Oh,
dress.
I do remember this. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Laurel and Yanny is the same exact thing, or it's a piece of audio, and people are like, "Do you hear Laurel or do you hear Yanny?" Yeah,
I remember that.
So is it Laurel or Yanny?
Is it Laurel or Yanny?
Yeah.
Well, interesting that you bring that up because I do see the parallels. Sometimes you can perceive reality in different ways, and obviously the external stimuli that you're exposed to can play a big role in that. That's why here at this station we try to inform you. We don't teach you how to think. We try to encourage you to think on your own and to have the right information to draw the correct conclusions. Whether that's Laurel or Yanny, I don't know. Was there a right answer?
No.
What did you hear? Do you remember?
Laurel. I also saw a black.
I
and blue
don't
dress.
remember.
I also saw a black and blue.
A black dress?
Yeah.
Black and blue dress?
Mm-hmm.
To match the one that you wear sometimes on Saturday nights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's getting dry. It's getting dry cleaned right now.
It's getting dry cleaned right now. Saturday night got a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, folks, we're going to take a break and play some ads. But when we return, Vicki Flynn, one of our faves in the New Jersey legislature, Assemblywoman from Monmouth County, joins us here on the Matt Rooney Show. The Democrat race in my state, it's about as nutso as you might imagine. Let's get her perspective and a whole lot more here on 1210 WPHT.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Happy birthday to us. 2 surprises for you. 2 surprises from NordVPN. 2 surprises for you.
Celebrate twice as much with NordVPN. We have a special birthday deal. Get 72% off and a coupon for up to 1 year free. NordVPN is rated as excellent on PC Mag. Visit NordVPN.com and discover one of the most advanced VPNs in the world. What are the benefits? Secure up to 10 devices with a single account. Receive alerts if your email address leaks to the dark web. Reduce the risk of phishing, scams, and malware with NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro tool. Encrypt your online traffic and browse with more peace of mind. Get the special birthday deal at NordVPN.com. Additional terms apply. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Hey, Royers Ford, remember to tell your smart speaker to play 1210 WPHT.
New Jersey's been bananas this week. Nothing new there. If you were watching, I guess it was maybe Wednesday night, Fox News, the Jesse Waters program, you may have seen a story about how New Jersey hospitals are handing out a form to newborn parents, asking them to indicate whether their child is transgender or bisexual or some other classification. That was actually a SaveJersey.com story. It started over at my website. There's legislation.
Oh, you have SaveJersey.com?
All right, I'm not going to indulge you, Daniel. I'm not going to indulge it.
I didn't know that. Nice.
A New Jersey law that was signed by Governor Murphy back in 2022 requires medical institutions, labs, certain doctors' offices, hospitals, to obtain this information from parents who maybe are there with a brand new child or a young child that's being treated for a serious ailment. It's sick, it's crazy, it's unnecessary, but this is where the Democrats are, not just nationally, but in New Jersey on steroids. And so it shouldn't be a surprise, I guess, that the New Jersey Democrat primary field in 2025 is no less nutty. So we're going to turn to a friend of ours to help try to illustrate for you exactly how crazy things are getting. She's got a story up on SaveJersey.com, which asks the obvious question. If Gavin Newsom can admit the truth about women's sports, what's wrong with these New Jersey Democrat candidates? She is an attorney. She's a former school board president. She is currently one of two members of the Assembly representing New Jersey's 13th legislative district out there in beautiful Monmouth County, New Jersey, the wonderful Jersey Shore, one of my favorite places on the planet. She is Vicki Flynn, and she joins us now on the Matt Rooney Show. Assemblywoman, welcome back to the program.
Hi, Matt. How are you tonight?
I am well. I hope you are as well, and I appreciate you joining us to dig into something that I think is very important, not just for New Jersey voters, but regardless of where our listeners are tuning in from tonight. It tells you a story about where the Democrat Party is in 2025, that you are starting to see some senior leaders, including at least one guy that wants to be president, pivot on these issues, including women playing sports with male athletes, right, that are impinging upon their rights. But other Democrats just don't seem willing to catch up, including here in New Jersey. What have you seen in the gubernatorial race?
I am wondering where they all stand. I know the Republican candidates all stand with the women in sports, but the ones that are running, and especially what they would, I guess, would consider the front runners, Mikey Sherrill, for one, surprises me, seems to be intent on not protecting women in sports, and that's really disappointing to me, especially on, within Women's History Month, when there was a movement in Congress for her to do the right thing and vote for women. and vote for the girls to play free from, being able to achieve whatever they want to, their dreams. And she failed to do so. So is that what we really want in Trenton for the next 4 years after Murphy's 8? I don't think so.
You wouldn't think so, and you would think that maybe in a Democrat field that's as large as this one, they have several candidates, and the polls suggest they're all kind of bunched up at the moment. So in theory, any of these jokers could win. You thought maybe one of them would say, hey, listen, maybe it's not a great idea if boys are in girls' sports beating the tar out of our girls, especially at some of the younger ages. You think maybe one of them would try to be different, but none of them have. And to your point, Mikey Sherrill, who's widely thought of as one of the leading candidates, not even pretending to care about young girls in the Garden State and whether they're being deprived of opportunities and also whether they're being placed in danger. The governor, the incumbent, Phil Murphy, has also been conspicuously silent on this issue as of late, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm surprised because he knows his family is very much involved in sports. They own a women's sports team. They have to know there is a distinction between women and men in sports. During the various drafts of my op-eds on this, because I'm so disappointed in what the lack of leadership we're seeing on this issue. I looked into this issue. Carly Lloyd tweeted a few years ago after she was being questioned about how the U.S. women's national team lost to a bunch of soccer players, teenage boys in Texas, a U15 team. And she says, what are you surprised about? They're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. And they even beat our superstar women national team. I think it's time for leaders to stand up for women. I don't understand why, and I don't understand women in particular, too. We haven't reached a point of having equality in this nation. I hate to tell everyone, and we have to continue to fight. But women in particular, I can't get over how willing they are to just ignore that reality and start sticking up for all these different groups. I'm like, why don't you focus on women issues first? Then you can move on to what other groups windmills and everything else. You can go do that. Focus on women's rights. And right now, we need women to be standing up for the girls. And I will this will be a footnote to the op-ed that I provided for you. And thank you, Matt, for putting that out there. I can't tell you how many Democrats have reached out to me over the last few days and said, I don't know where the Democratic Party is. This is not my party.
Yeah, I'm hearing more and more of that as well. And look, speaking as a Republican, probably not the worst thing in the world that they're disqualifying themselves by moving so far to the left. But I'd still rather live in a country with two sane major parties. It'd be safer for everyone, especially our young girls. I think you hit on something very interesting, too. This whole idea of why so many women are remaining silent, particularly on the left. Is it an unwillingness to admit that there are gender differences between men and women biologically, how we're constructed? Is that the reluctance to jump in here and defend other women? They don't want to admit that there are differences between us?
I don't think so. I really don't think it's that. I just don't think sometimes women just don't want to stick up for themselves. I'm really, maybe I don't know the answer to that yet, Matt, because I was in a women's history panel the other day, and we're talking about women history and, empowering women and asking questions and going through it. And at the end, the questions all focus on, well, what are we going to do about immigration? What are we going to do about this issue? And I told them to knock it off and start focusing on what are you going to do for women to make sure you can afford New Jersey? Let me start with that for you. What's your plan? And I was talking to a bunch of college students. What's your plan to be able to continue to live in the state we're standing in right now in the future? Because I'm here to tell you, we have a problem. And so I need you to really just focus on women issues first, because they're going to have a big problem going forward to be able to afford this state. And that's and all of these other issues. There was, when I was on the Board of Ed, we had people calling in talking about Black Lives Matter. A bunch of, some of the women in our town who were from, very, very nice upbringing in college, but this is what the college was telling them was important. Maybe that's what it is, Matt. And they were calling into my board meetings. It was during COVID, talking about this stuff. And I said, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Go focus on something else.
And that's what the American people want them to do. I mean, you noted in this Save Jersey iteration of your op-ed that there was a New York Times poll in January, just this year, that found that 79% of Americans oppose transgender females, which are men, competing in women's sports, including 67%, a literal supermajority, 2/3 of Democrats. So that's the part of this is mystifying, right? You and I have been around politics long enough to know that you can't always expect people to do the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing, but you'd at least expect them to act out of self-interest. And the Democrat Party is destroying themselves by clinging to this. Now, let me flip the script if I can a little bit here. You're a Republican. I'm a Republican. We both want to see a Republican governor elected in November. We've got a very raucous Republican primary underway. I know that you were there at the debate that I co-moderated. That was something else, right, to watch. What would you like to hear from Republican candidates on this issue? I mean, we know that we think that men should not compete in women's sports, but as someone that's constantly out there in the trenches communicating to women, not just the Republican Party, but of all parties, that we need to vote for a Republican governor this year, what messaging do you think works?
I think right now they have to be out there and they have to show themselves being out there supporting women in sports. Are they going to the games when there's women playing sports and participating in that? There's one way you could be doing that. I do. I'm always congratulating the women in sports because it seems like a short 50 plus years, a lot has changed in sports. And women have been really part of that. I'd like to see them be more vocal on that. But I'd also like them to talk about the affordability and talk to women and talk to them about how are you going to be able to afford at all different levels. Because I sit here, Matt, as a mom to 3 girls, and I am frightened because I don't know how they're going to be able to afford to stay in New Jersey. And that's why, and I gave a reference to you the other day. So it's time to save Jersey. It really is, because I don't know how we're creating an economy, a state that will support women to continue to live and to thrive in New Jersey in particular. And that's what I think I would strongly encourage them. Right now we have a field of men, there are 4 men running. I would strongly encourage them to reach out to and try to get the female vote and focus on these issues. And women in sports is number one, because I think that it's unaffiliated, and Democrats are all in favor of us on this issue. I can't believe the Democrats aren't there yet. I can't believe, obviously, Gavin Newsom is self-interested and looking forward to a presidential run because he's getting it. He's seeing the polls. I'm surprised that the Democrats who are running right now haven't tried to distinguish themselves. And, Josh Gottheimer could have very easily done it. He did it on the Laken Riley bill. Which I thought was a good thing for him to do, but he did it on this issue. And for the life of me, and I grew up in Bergen County, and that's where he represents, I doubt they're in favor of, I think they would have rather him vote yes and save women and girls in sports rather than voting no.
Well, that's the frustrating part, right? You get some of these Democrats privately, they don't really believe this stuff. They don't believe this stuff. They're basically locked in a suicide pact with their base right now, right? That's going to show up and vote in these primaries, and they haven't figured out how to disentangle themselves, or let's just be honest about it, they're not brave enough to disentangle themselves. We're talking to Assemblywoman Victoria Flynn, everyone, of the 13th Legislative District out in Monmouth County. She's a Republican, and if you haven't checked it out already, head over to SaveJersey.com. She's got an op-ed up. And again, I like titles on my website for our stories, our op-eds that just tell you everything right in the headline. It's IRAC from law school, right, Vicki?
Right.
I want it all right up
Issue,
front.
rule, analysis, conclusion. Yes.
Yeah. Even Gavin Newsom admits the truth. Why can't these New Jersey Democrat candidates for governor? You can also find Vicki over on X, Assemblywoman Vicki Flynn. It's the abbreviation for Assemblywoman ASW. She knows what a woman is. She can define it, unlike the Democrats. We appreciate you making time for us tonight, as always, my friend.
Thank you, Matt, and keep up the good work. I appreciate everything you're doing to get the message out there.
Likewise, you too. Quick break and then back with more Matt Rooney Show in just a moment.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. Get ready. Friday, March 21st. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT presents our 8th annual Radiothon, benefiting the Travis Manion Foundation, presented by Edelman's Coins. We will be live from 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. with special guests, surprises, and fun. Plus, hear stories about how your donations to the Travis Manion Foundation go directly toward empowering veterans and families of the fallen nationwide by training them to become mentors to youth, find healing, and unite communities through service. Listen Friday, March 21st, beginning 6 a.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app. Thank you to our sponsors, Edelman's Coins, Philadelphia's local bullion dealer, Window Nation, for all of your window and door needs. Visit windownation.com. Hoffman's Exterminating, providing quality service with personalized care for over 35 years. AMC Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning, now hiring experienced technicians. Veterans encouraged to apply. Visit amcontheweb.com.
Enhance your home's curb appeal with new doors and windows from Emmons Roofing and Siding.
Our high-quality products offer style, security, and energy efficiency.
And you can choose from a wide selection of styles and finishes from major brands like Anderson or Provia.
Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us online at callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Edelman's Coins, Philadelphia's local bullion dealer. Edelman'sCoins.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Well, here we are again, and this is looking like a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train?
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
Ron, the size difference alone is staggering.
Oh, unbelievable, Jim. And this guy is acting like he doesn't have a care in the world.
What is this guy thinking, Ron?
Well, this is one of those rare moments where I actually find myself at a loss for words.
I can hardly bear to watch.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. Railroad tracks are more dangerous than you think. See tracks, think train. For more safety tips and information, visit ctracksthinktrain.org.
Free speech lives here with Don Stensland, 10 till noon on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Someone just tweeted at me and said, what was your opinion of Trump's amazing address? You haven't really weighed in on it. I mean, it's been several days. I think it's kind of been talked out at this point, right? I mean,
yeah, it's old.
I said earlier in the program all that I think you really didn't know. I think it was his best speech he's ever given. Said it all. If every Donald Trump speech had been delivered that way with that content, he probably would have won the popular vote by about 6 million votes. It was a masterpiece. So let's keep the good times a rolling, Daniel.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a problem with it.
I didn't watch it.
Even better.
I didn't. I didn't realize.
Didn't catch any of it.
I didn't realize it was on, and I was in bed, and I was scrolling on TikTok as I usually do, and it was being streamed on TikTok through like NBC or whatever, or like one of the outlets, and I watched like maybe 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, before you passed out.
Yeah, and then I saw the clips of it online, and I'm like, this will be talked about for the next week. So
I think that's how most people consume these events anymore, right? I mean, maybe you sit down and you watch, like the Super Bowl or something.
Well, here's.
But aside from that, you just watch clips, right?
Here's me. I don't pay attention to like any of the news during the week because, quite frankly, I'm on the station, but I quite frankly don't care. I don't care. I do all the stuff that I need for the show.
I don't think it's that you don't care.
I think that I just talk about it for 3 hours at a time on a Sunday that I don't want to talk about it for the rest of the week.
Yes, well, which is different from not caring.
Also, part of I care, but to the point where I'm just like I don't let it take over my life. So
you need a break. You can only take so much.
So
I think a lot of people feel that way too.
So Monday through Saturday, I don't do anything, and then I start reading up on the news and start pulling clips on Sunday morning. And
look, I've said it before about Fox News, right? Like I got to keep up on the news throughout the week because of how I'm involved, the website, the radio show. But if I watch Fox News for more than a couple hours straight, the Fox News alerts, oh my God!
Yeah.
We were talking about anxiety earlier.
Yeah,
I think I'd have it.
And I'm also just so tired of people.
I can't consume it endlessly.
I'm so tired of people like watching something and then just immediately criticizing it, like good or bad. Like it's the same for everything. Like I'm tired of someone like watching a sporting event. They're criticizing the game. Granted, I do it, but I don't do it.
Granted, I'm guilty of the thing I'm saying.
I'm guilty of it, but also I don't.
So sometimes it feels like you're drinking out of a garden hose, which is what I described. And sometimes you just get tired of how it's presented. Look, this is one of the reasons why, and this will come as no surprise to those of you that love talk radio, this is why I love this genre. Because there is the ability, if you do it correctly, to have a deeper level of conversation. And that is what we endeavor to have here on the Matt Rooney Show. Some weeks, like any other enterprise, we probably get closer to it than at others. But that's what we want to do. And it's something that Dan feels strongly about as well.
Yeah.
I don't speak for you.
Yeah.
But why don't you speak for yourself, Dan? We didn't do this the last couple of weeks, but it's part of our pedagogical mission here on the Matt Rooney Show.
Don't use big words that I don't know.
You know what it means.
I don't.
Well, why don't you tell me something I don't know?
Okay.
With the fact of the week.
Okay. Today's fact is brought to you by no one.
By the butch host of this program.
The butch version of Rachel Maddow.
That's interesting.
It is.
March. I'm not going to do that one. I'll do this one. The sun is round. There you go.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. That's not the fact. March is the most popular month for vasectomies.
Oh! I knew this.
Did you?
This is correct.
There you go.
This is correct.
Do you want me to read what it says?
Yes.
Okay.
I know why it is. I know why it is. Because there's a certain program that's on.
Correct.
Which I'm not sure whether we can call it by its name. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
We're not making... we're not making money off of it.
Yeah, we're not making money off it, yeah.
March Madness is a cherished time to reacquaint oneself with the couch, especially during the early tournament days when dozens of games unfold consecutively. In other words, it's the perfect week to recover from a vasectomy. According to Live Science, the number of vasectomies surges by 50% during the first week of March Madness. Why? Because patients typically need at least a day with ice to keep swelling down.
Yeah. You have all these guys getting snipped, and they get snipped this time of year so they can sit at home and watch games.
Correct. Yep.
It's kind of brilliant, honestly, if you're going to do it.
A urologist told Fox News, so if they're going to spend a whole day doing nothing, it's not hard to figure out that they'd want to do it on a day they like to be sitting in front of the television. Correct.
Not bad strategy, guys.
And they probably found out that they were pregnant by Valentine's Day, and they're like, we don't want any more, so snip, snip, come the tourney, and there you go.
And there you go.
And there you go, in front of the couch for the next month.
I love it. Yes, no, I knew this. And I've known some people that have done it for that reason in March. So I'd imagine it's probably a hard time to get an appointment.
Hell yeah, brother.
You probably got to reserve that in advance.
Probably. You got to start planning for next year's vasectomies.
You got to start planning for next year's vasectomies.
This year.
A line around the block.
There you go. That's your fact of the week.
Well, what they could probably do is they could probably do what they did at the Democrat National Convention and get some vans.
Mm-hmm. Mobile abortion stations.
Yeah, right.
Mobile vasectomy stations.
But they also have the mobile vasectomy stations, yeah. Men hopping in those things.
Yeah.
Little snip, snip. Get a free day off.
I would like a mobile Dunkin' Donuts as well, but we can't all have what we want.
Can't all have what you want.
Yeah.
Although I bet you'd be more likely to get a vasectomy if you were given a free glazed donut and a Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
No.
Well, what are you getting from Dunkin' Donuts then?
A glazed donut and a free coffee.
You're too young to be thinking about all that stuff. I mean, Democrat men don't want to spawn.
Well, Democrat men are just transgender women.
Well, that is true. They do sit to pee.
I also sometimes do that.
You?
Yeah, I miss the toilet seat, so I just sit down, you know?
Well,
and sometimes I just
don't sit down after you miss.
And sometimes I just want to...
That's a little icky.
And sometimes I just want to act like I'm someone else, you know? So
you just want to act like you're someone else?
Yeah,
that's how you mix it up?
Just to feel something.
At your house?
Yeah, so on Monday I might pee standing up, and then on Wednesday I might just sit down.
I don't get that. As lazy as I sometimes am, you can always stand.
Right. That's our luxury. We can go anywhere.
Yeah. So I mean, why would you?
Why would you go outside if I want to?
So why would you restrict yourself by sitting?
I don't sit, Matthew. I don't.
Well,
sit.
I think you do. I think you just made an admission, and now you're walking it back.
I don't sit. Please, Matthew Rooney, I don't sit.
If Bella's listening, make sure that you put the toilet seat down for Daniel. We don't want him falling in.
She yelled at me that I got to put the toilet seat down for her when I'm done, and sometimes I forget. And she almost fell in the other day.
I can't be doing that kind of thing.
I know.
It hurt a person that way.
Oh well.
Be a little more considerate. Make that your mission for next time I see you. I'm not going to see you for like a month. I don't know.
Yeah, April.
I'll see you in April. The Matt Rooney Show is going to continue.
You won't see me.
But Dan's going to take one of his extended hiatuses.
Probably won't see Matt. Probably won't text him. Won't do anything. This is the only time this happens.
No, you'll text me. What do you mean this is the only time this happens?
Like this isn't.
You disappear like this from time to time.
In January.
Well, it hasn't been that long since January.
It's been January. February had nothing, and then March, and then April there's nothing. May, that's an iffy one, and then June, July, August there's nothing. So
there's nothing.
Nah, it's usually January and March.
So if we get that Matt Rooney remote pulled together in the summer, you'll be around for it.
Say it one more time.
If we get a Matt Rooney remote going in the summer,
yeah.
down the shore or something, you'll be around for it.
Yeah, I should. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one thing that will, I guess, be, because you refuse to help with it, that we'll be mercifully free of for a few weeks, is the segment that continues to torture the radio world and the internet. And what's it called again?
Hey guys, gather round. Gather round.
It's Twit Talk time. Everyone's favorite segment.
Oh,
Don't sound so excited, Matthew.
Everyone is an awfully strong word, Dan.
And by everyone, I mean like two people.
Like two people.
I'm just joking.
You and Mangle Mush over on YouTube.
Some of the clips are good. Where do we want to start? I don't know.
As long as we get to Theo Von at some point.
Oh, of course we will. The Theo Von clip, I don't know if it's one that I've played already or if it's one that's new, but we'll find out.
Doesn't matter.
Do you know a good guy named John Kennedy?
A good guy named John Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember something about a JFK from school.
No, not a JFK. Like the current John Kennedy.
The current John Kennedy. Oh, the senator.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I have a little montage of John Kennedy.
You got a John Kennedy montage?
I do. And hopefully this can shed some light on, I don't know what it's shedding light on, but...
well, he's an American treasure, so it doesn't have to shed light on anything to be entertaining.
Exactly. It's entertaining. That's why we're playing it. So, John Kennedy moments / core.
Do you hate cops just because they're cops? The next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I put some lube on and got him on his knees. And I began to slide into him from behind. I don't know why we have to give money to countries that hate us. They should be able to hate us for free. Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid.
Goat's milk latte drinking, avocado
toes to eat it. Frankly, I can't because I can't get my head that far up my rear end. Stick it up there, fact checker. They can kiss my ass. The world still astounds you each time you look at a star. I mean, you call Senator Sanders everything but an ignorant slut.
That is not true.
And the record to reflect that I did not call Senator Sanders an ignorant slut. Okay? You took President Xi Jinping and turned him upside down and shook him. My car doesn't run off fairy dust. My car doesn't run off unicorn urine.
Telling you what, man. He's a national treasure.
John Kennedy.
If you had 52, 53 senators that talk like that, what a country this could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I alluded to this earlier in the show, but I don't know. I guess a Fox News correspondent went around on the Capitol floor after Trump's speech, and he basically went up and confronted the Democrats, saying why they didn't clap. Obviously, they didn't really have any good reasons, and this is what happened.
What could Donald Trump do that'll make you clap?
Thank you very much.
What could Donald Trump do that'll make you clap?
I did clap when he said that the United States had supported Ukraine and given them lots of
Well, why not for Laken Riley's mom? How was that speech last night? Did you love it?
Well, I watched it. I don't think that was the best look for our party last night.
Very disappointing.
So you didn't stand up for
It's your best friend, Senator Cory Booker.
Block me on Twitter.
The president got before the American people, didn't talk about how he could drive down grocery prices.
Senator, why weren't you standing yesterday for anything?
Very important hearing right now on anti-Semitism.
But you didn't stand for anything at the speech last
I don't
night.
know what you're talking about, where you got that information.
Well, there was nothing the president had to say.
Laken Riley's mom,
either
you didn't stand for her.
Factual or truthful. Or we applauded.
You don't think it's worthy to stand
applauded.
up for her like everyone else?
Richard Blumenthal said they applauded.
Congressman, why didn't you stand for the speech?
Have a good day. I need to go to a meeting.
80% of the American people, according to CBS, love
Pushes
the
him out of the
speech.
elevator.
Again, I don't think with the United States.
Are the Democrats out of
the United
touch?
States of America. Forgive me for going here. Forgive me for being out of breath. I don't know what speech they were watching.
They were watching the president's speech, Senator.
Really? Wasn't worth watching.
Why was Al Green so disrespectful?
You gotta ask Al Green.
So I just pulled up to Congressman Al Green's office, went inside, see if he wanted to talk, because he did a lot of talking at the joint address, but they shooed me away.
That was from Jesse Waters, by the way.
You know, not for nothing, but Ilhan Omar pushing the reporter out of the elevator. Can you imagine if a Republican member did that?
Yeah, they also didn't want to go into Al Green's office because it smelled like cigarettes.
like some kind of like wet
cigarettes and whiskey.
Yeah, I was gonna say like wet cigarette butts.
Yeah,
that's what I kind of imagine.
Yeah.
I bet you Ilhan Omar wouldn't push her brother like that. Maybe she would. I don't know.
There you go. No good reasons. Cory Booker was he was out of breath, but somehow he can still run with Peppermint Patty. What's her face? Jen Psaki.
Yeah, and then he got in a tickle fight with that Dem influencer. Did you see that?
No.
That kid?
I
that
really
was that was creepy.
I don't want to see it.
That was creepy.
I really don't.
I thought about calling child services.
Paul Tazewell, I think his name is. Last week was the Oscars. We talked about it for a little bit. Paul Tazewell won the award for the best costume design for Wicked. He won an Oscar. Don't have an issue with him winning. Didn't see Wicked. But I do have an issue with the way that he accepted it, and I'll tell you why after we play it. The rest, a lot of it is just clapping, so I'll play like the first part of it, and then.
Yeah, I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, well, he's costume designer for Wicked. Here we go.
I'm the first black man to receive the Costume Design Award for my work on Wicked.
So it's just the way that I have an issue with this. He said he's the first black man.
I thought it was going to stop right there for a second. I'm thinking, no, I'm pretty sure I know some black guys.
I don't know why we are still doing this. Everyone, like, I don't know. Like, we're all people. I don't know why you have to go up there and be like, I'm the first black guy. Like, that's great. I'm proud of that, or he's proud of that. I'm not discrediting that. But I don't know why I have to keep saying, "Oh, I'm the first black woman to do this. I'm the first Hispanic man to do this." Like, why can't we all just address ourselves as people? We're all people.
Well, because they've been trained that that's how you get positive reinforcement from the crowd that they're a part of, right? Like that entire audience there. If you didn't know already, go watch a recent movie out of Hollywood. They don't really care much about quality anymore.
And I'm sure Wicked
that's what they care about.
I'm sure Wicked was a fantastic movie. I've never seen it. I don't have any interest in seeing it. I'm sure it was a good movie.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't seen it. I won't see it. Not interested.
People probably say the Broadway version's better, which I would probably agree with. But I have no interest in seeing it. But I just don't understand why you have to introduce as I'm the first black man to win this award. Like, I don't.
It diminishes it.
Does it just
like how about the fact that you maybe again I haven't seen the movie. Maybe this guy is an amazing costume designer. Don't you want to be known for what you're good at? Don't you want to be known for the content of your character, right? Not the color of your skin. Of course, it goes beyond being boorish. It's actually debasing in a very real way. And it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
He should care about his work product first and foremost.
Correct. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm the first Hispanic white guy to be on a radio show. Like, I'm not.
Especially since Elizabeth Warren, as we've established, is more Indian than you are Hispanic.
I'm not discrediting his work. I'm not at all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this in a negative tone. I just don't think that we should, especially nowadays, it's, oh, I'm the, first black man, first black woman, first,
Yeah. No, I mean, this is why people are turning against DEI.
I don't know.
Because America's tired of this stuff. And I got news for you too. A lot of non-white people are tired of this stuff because DEI is not making anybody's neighborhood safer, not putting any more money in anyone's pocket. It's just dividing us. And now, thanks to Elon Musk, we know it's also costing us billions of dollars a year.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it just annoys me more than most people, but I personally don't. This is gonna sound terrible. I don't care what color your skin is. I see everyone as just a person. So it's like,
how is that terrible? I mean, that's the most decent thing that anybody could ever say.
Black, white, Hispanic, Indian. I don't care. You're equal to me. So
we literally used to celebrate Martin Luther King for saying what you just said.
Right.
And now, no, you're very much part of the zeitgeist with this one, buddy.
I don't know. You got to bars? You got to bars recently, or do you have any plans?
I mean, not as much as I used to.
Do you have any plans in the next coming weeks?
No.
Okay. Well, I think I found your plans, buddy.
So while my mom's drying her hair and she can't hear me talking, I just wanted to announce to you guys that I will be going to the bars with my mom tonight. If anyone wants to come, just come join us. Then we could get drunk together and just be at the bars together with my mom and us.
Context, please.
There's no context.
There's no context?
He was going to the bar with his mom, and he's inviting people to go to the bar with his mom.
He's inviting people to go hang out with him and his mom at the bar?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, is this kid of age?
I don't know.
I'm looking at the video right now. It's kind of a toss-up.
I don't know. Don't care. So if you're ever going to go to a bar, him and his mom are.
With him and his mom?
Him and his mom.
I guess it depends on what his mom's like, right?
Him and his mom, yeah.
Is there a video of his mom?
No, that's the only video that I had.
Okay.
This guy already knows who he's voting for in 2028. Fun fact, you can take a guess. It's not Trump or J.D. Vance. So here you go.
Kamala Harris runs in 2028. Will you vote for her? I know I am. I am voting for the queen. Me.
Oh, well, glad that's settled.
He's voting for the queen.
Voting for the queen.
Yeah.
The queen of what?
This one's a PSA, actually. This one is a PSA coming from, I guess, a father or a very worried man. I don't know, but here's his PSA.
Y'all see where I'm at. This kid part, and I just want to tell all the ladies, a thong in here, it's just insane. You wear a thong in here, you just
lost his words at the end. He's at a water park, and he's like, don't wear a thong at the water park.
Probably a good idea.
Because there's kids in there.
Also, there's water slides, and the physics don't really work that well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Here we go. Do you know who Tim Dillon is?
Yes.
Yeah, Tim Dillon, I guess, was on the Rogan podcast a while ago, and Rogan. Joe Rogan asked him why there's no trans women on The View.
Oh, valid
Why
question.
doesn't The View have any trans women on it?
Great point. It has a lot of women that look trans, but none of them. It has a lot of second and third takes. After a drink, you'd go, huh? But it does.
I'm pretty sure Joey Behar used to be Jim Behar. We'll get to the bottom of that scandal right after we figure out the auto pen issue.
Yeah, there we go. And then to wrap it all up with Theo Von. I don't know if I played this one before. I could have. I don't know. But, yeah.
Dude, when I was growing up, we couldn't even get porn. We had to get this dude, Nick, on Friday would draw us a picture of some $4 to this dude, Nick.
$4 for drawings?
Bro, you'd pay $8. And he had a nice thing, bro, and you would fold that thing up, bro. You could feel it heating in your butt pocket the whole way on the bus. Sometimes you'd even...
Good? The pictures are that good?
He was so
you would
good.
jerk off this guy's drawings?
Oh, everybody would. He must have made probably $60 on a Friday. And this was in 1995.
There you go. You pay $8.
It's the American dream, man. Entrepreneurism at a young age.
That's what I got for you.
God bless America. And God bless all of you for being a part of the greatest audience in radio. I know I'm a little biased. We'll be back next week. Daniel won't. He'll be back at some point. But until then, stay safe, stay sane, and keep fighting for this greatest nation in God's creation. It's worth it.
Shot down in May, but I know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Dawn Stensland here. Porsche Delaware, part of Piazza Premium Automobiles, is so proud to announce its newly expanded maintenance and reconditioning services, offering specialized care for classic Porsches, as well as general maintenance services for domestic and premium brands. Whether it's tires, brakes, oil changes, Porsche Delaware's experienced team will keep your vehicle performing at its best. They also offer complimentary valet pickup and drop-off.